Yeah, this is case number 22 on the calendar in the matter of Moore versus Kayla.
Thank you, Bert.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Whew. Family that certainly does not get along well. Miss Moore, the defendant is your niece.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that she had you falsely arrested for assaulting her last year during the time that your mother was ill and dying.
Yes, ma'am.
You went through a trial recently and were acquitted.
Yes,
found
ma'am.
not guilty. And you're suing her for the false arrest and for the year that you spent facing these charges. The defendant says that the charges were true and that she is counterclaiming for her injuries. Her injuries, I believe, were broken arm.
Yes, ma'am.
When was your mother ill last year?
My mother became ill early in January, but she really got bad in March of, it was 2003.
And when did this incident occur with your niece?
March the 10th, after I flew to Texas to be beside my mother who was dying at her home.
So you tell me your version of what happened, what led up to this incident.
Saturday afternoon, my sister, Brenda, had instructed me to give medication to my mother every 4 hours without stopping. And it put my mother in a very...
What kind of medicine was it?
One was a morphine and the other one was for anxiety.
Your mother had cancer?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of cancer did she have?
Cancer of the liver.
So the morphine was prescribed to keep her calm.
Yes, ma'am, but on the prescription of the bottle it says every 4 hours as needed. And my question was, that night she was totally out of it, and my brother he was there that night, and he had to pick my mother up out of the bed because she could not move at all. And we did not give her the medication every 4 hours like my sister had instructed, and I had asked my other sister in the morning about the medication.
So that caused a problem with your niece?
They were all upset because I would not give the medication like that. But anyway, Sunday night, I left and went out to another sister's house to rest. And when I came, that morning on Monday, my daughter and I came back in the afternoon, and I come to the conclusion I couldn't handle seeing my mother's death.
Okay.
Because of my heart condition and my nerves.
Okay, you couldn't handle it. Okay.
And I was talking to my husband on the phone, and I told him he could reach me. I was on the porch, and I told him he could reach me out at my other sister's. Brenda got mad at me, and I don't want to have a consultation with my mother dying.
Why was she angry with you? What was she saying?
She just felt that I was there trying to take over, and she was already had said that she was going to come out there and whip on me on Monday, and I didn't pay any attention to that in a phone call that we had.
Was that over the medication?
Yes.
Is that so far, is that right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, step up. Brenda, what were you angry about?
I wasn't angry with her. I was actually relieved that she was there to help us because we had 3 months prior of taking care of my mother. Everybody was stressed out. It was a bad time. My sister had called me and she told me that the hospice people had told her not to give my mother the medication except when she needed it. I told her specifically, Alice, when you're there, you do what you need to do. I told her I was calling a meeting with the hospice people on Monday. The whole family would be there. We could all understand. I learned more about death than I ever wanted to know with my mother. And I didn't want to go through this by myself. I wanted my sisters there. I wanted help. Right. So when we asked for a meeting, she said 10 o'clock. My sister couldn't be there. She was so concerned about my mother and the medication, but she couldn't be there to see what the hospice people... We were doing exactly what they said. Exactly what they said.
Which is medicating her every 4 hours and not letting the pain grab hold of her.
Right,
well, and they told
that's exactly how they explained it to her,
right.
To us. You know, when the pain kicks in, this is how she's going to be. Don't let the pain come.
Don't let it get there.
You know,
right.
We'd been there with her. We didn't want to let the pain come. Nobody, you know, she was going to die. We knew that. We wanted it to be peaceful.
I got it.
And that was my mother's wish, to die at home.
Kim, tell me what happened in the kitchen on the 10th of March.
Well, I was in the bedroom with my grandmother, and I heard them in the kitchen. And she's telling her, you know, you took her out of the nursing home. You shouldn't have took her out of the nursing home. She's going to die. She's going to bleed. You know, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And they were telling her, then leave. You know, that's fine. If you can't take it,
put your hand down, Ms.
leave.
Moore.
You know. And when I looked outside, she was slapping at my mother. And another one of my aunts stepped in. Well, she grabbed her and she threw her down to the floor. Alice threw my other aunt down.
What's
to
her
the
name?
floor. Her name was Billy.
Go ahead.
And then of course, I had walked in there in the middle of this, and my brother walked in, and she started screaming at my brother. And she was screaming obscenities that you would not believe. And she was, you know, then she started out the door, and my brother went out after her. Well, I went out after him. Then she coming out there, and she's telling me, you know, we need to just call an ambulance for Billy, you know, we need to just go. So I'm going back in the house, and I get the phone to call the police. And as I walk back outside, because I'm hearing screaming now back at the porch. And I'm like, well, I thought she was going to leave. She wasn't leaving. And it's because her daughter over there was telling her, you don't have to leave. They can't make you leave. This is your mama's house. You don't have to leave. You know, her daughter was put in a quarter. And she knows if you push her, she's going to lose it. You know, she has a history of violence and just psychotic behavior. And I look at her and I told her, just go, just get that out of here. You know, that's what I told her, just get that. And I'm pointing at her, and as I'm pointing at her, she grabs this arm, and she pulls me down. Her daughter steps between us, and she popped my arm down over her daughter's shoulder. It broke this bone up here into pieces. They had to go in and put a rod. You know, I have a permanent rod in the middle of my bone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I was leaving and they attacked me. They didn't take my statement. The police didn't let me give a statement. My lawyer will testify to that. Why don't you call her?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alice Moore says her niece, Kimberly Kayla, had her falsely arrested for an assault. Kimberly says during an argument, Alice broke her arm.
What happened to Billy?
Billy was taken to the hospital also, and she had some sciatic nerve damage in her back.
She was taken to the hospital that day?
Yes.
Okay.
But Billy and I were both taken to the same hospital in the same ambulance.
What hospital?
To Spine Memorial Hospital.
Do you have a police report for me, please?
Yes.
It's right there.
Okay, Ms. Moore, coming back to you. Now we're going to come to the point in this story where you're going to tell me your version of how her arm got broken.
Well, first of all, there was a consultation in the house, and Brenda held me and Kim, and I have a sworn testimony from the court where my attorney said, and you slapped her? And she said, yes. At that time, she hit...
Just a second. Who slapped you?
Kim hit me in the face with the telephone while my sister held me in the kitchen and would not let me leave.
Let me see the testimony. Oh, well, she says, do you remember slapping Alice? She said, yeah. I told you in the kitchen when she was pulling my hair and we were going back and forth. And you slapped her? Yes.
But, Judge, I could not be pulling her hair.
Just a minute. Don't explain. You have to read me the whole thing, Miss Moore.
Okay.
She didn't just admit slapping you. She said you were pulling her hair and you were going back and forth and she slapped you.
At the time she slapped me, I had my hands restrained by my sister Brenda.
I would like you to tell me how her arm got broken.
Well, from there, I went outside and was leaving. At that time, her brother stopped me from going to the car. He pounced over the porch and pulled his hand back to hit me. And you're looking at a guy, I wouldn't take my eyes off because he lifts weight and he could have killed me. And he said all kinds of things to me as I was trying to leave. My daughter stood in between us to stop it.
Okay, so your daughter got in between you and her brother.
Right.
Okay.
And as I was looking for my granddaughter, Kim...
Just a second. If your daughter got in between the two of you, why didn't you go back to your car?
I was going, but my granddaughter had the keys to my car.
Where were you looking for her?
Right there in front of my mother's house.
Well, you just have to look. How old is your granddaughter? Is she a little teeny girl?
Yes.
How old is she?
I thought she was about 11 or 12. That's what she looks like.
How old?
She just turned 18, Judge.
So she was 16 at the time.
15. She hadn't turned 16 yet.
15 at the time. Well, you're not looking for her on the ground, madam. Listen to me. If you're looking for your granddaughter who's outside, and the people who are outside, according to you, your nephew, and your daughter, that's 3 people. That's who you told me were outside, and you were looking for your granddaughter around that area. That
And Kim came off the porch, charged off the porch with something and hit me in the face, and I could not see. I put my hands up, and I have pictures of where she hit me in the head, and I couldn't see at that time.
Just a second. Hold on a second. Show me the pictures that you have. I don't see anything wrong with your head now.
I had a goose egg right here.
Not according to the police report.
The police did not come and check me out at all or anything. I went to the hospital, to the emergency room.
Let me see the medical records from the hospital. According to the police report, when they spoke to you, there was nothing wrong with you, except you were complaining of chest pains. That's according to 2 police officers. Listen to me. That's what the police said you complained of. Not a goose egg on your head, not being hit on your head. They took you to the hospital for observation because, listen to me, because of the chest pains. What I want you to do is give me the hospital record.
I don't have that part.
Well,
that
that's what
I could not get that part in time for court today.
Well, that's unfortunate because you've had over a year to get that hospital record. Who are you?
I'm her husband, Your Honor.
Were you there?
I talked to her at 7 o'clock.
He was on the phone when I went in to tell him I was
when she was leaving.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't.
My daughter Frankie was there.
Oh, I believe Frankie was there. You can step up, Frankie. I believe you were there.
Yes, ma'am.
How did your cousin's arm get broken?
By her brother yanking her arms. When she had my mother's head, she grabbed my mother by her left, with Kim's left hand, by her hair, yanked her head over where she's completely bent over. My mother's face is touching the cement. Kim's brother runs from behind Kim and grabs Kim with his arms like this, and he's pulling her, and she's hitting my mother upside the head with a cordless phone in her right hand, and I grab at the phone, and Scott is pulling Kim at both of her arms backwards. No one touched her arms except for her own brother.
Okay, fine. You can sit down. It's very unfortunate when everybody gets stressed out in a situation where...
What was unfortunate?
I'm speaking. It's very unfortunate when people get stressed and angry because somebody who's close to them is dying. And put the picture down, madam. Pay attention to me. The first mistake that you made was not listening. Your mother was dying of liver cancer. The instructions that you were given to give her morphine every 4 hours were the appropriate instructions. I am not a medical person, but unfortunately I have been in situations where I know that you're not supposed to wait until you are in pain as needed when you are dying. You're supposed to keep medicated so that the pain of liver cancer doesn't take hold. So these people were taking care of your mother for months before you got there. And then pay attention, try to get it through. And then you come to the scene and decide, this isn't right. The medication says as needed. I'm not going to give her the medication every 4 hours. And everybody is annoyed at that situation because you're sort of a Johnny-come-lately. They've been there for months taking care of the situation, making decisions without you. They took care of, they were the ones who were up at night, they were the ones who were feeding, and all of a sudden you show up and decide to change the rules. Big mistake. You weren't saving your mother's life, Miss Moore. She was going to die. I'm speaking. She was going to die anyway. The question was she going to die peacefully and not in pain ever? Or whether you were going to try, your method of treatment was let her get a little bit uncomfortable and then we'll give her the medication as needed. Unfortunately, you made a mistake in your choice. I do not believe your daughter when your daughter says that you were beaten over the head with a phone, because there is nothing in any of the official records, including hospital records, which you had every opportunity to get over the last year and a half, that suggests that when you were admitted to the hospital for your chest pains, they noted bruising and swelling on your head that would be consistent with your being hit over the head repeatedly, according to you, and according to your daughter, with a cell phone. So I do not believe you were falsely charged. And I believe you broke her arm.
Oh, ma'am,
I believe that you... I'm speaking.
I did not. I was leaving and they attacked me.
Okay.
That's
You
all
may
I
have
was
convinced-
doing was leaving.
You may have convinced
they
you,
wouldn't
Miss
let
Moore.
me leave.
You may have...
I didn't care about what medicine they gave Mother. They attacked me.
They
They
attacked-
didn't take my statement. The police didn't let me give a statement. My lawyer will testify to that. Why don't you call her?
Listen to me. I don't want to go any further with this, Miss
And I
Moore,
was
because I'm
found not
speaking.
guilty of all
I'm
of
speaking.
those.
I'm speaking.
I'm
speaking. Speak.
I swear I did not.
Listen to me very
Where's
carefully.
the Bible? I took a lie detector's test even, and I did not touch them.
Your
None of
case is dismissed. Did you have any unreimbursed medical bills?
Yes, ma'am.
What were they? Unreimbursed medical
Well,
bills.
I have $7,000 right here.
Judgment for the defendant on the counterclaim in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Step.
That's case number 18 on the calendar in the matter of Weiss versus Sellers. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Miss Weiss, you and Mr. Sellers were engaged to be married. You are no longer engaged. You are no longer involved. You claim he owes you some money.
Yes.
Mr. Sellers says he owes you absolutely nothing. And if you think he owes you some money, sell the engagement ring. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. When did you become engaged?
In December of 2004.
Just in my own curiosity, when did you buy her the ring?
In December.
What kind of a ring did you buy her?
Engagement ring.
Cheap one.
Well, let me see it.
You want to
If
see
you're
it?
wearing it, I wouldn't...
Little ring.
What?
Can I have a tissue, please?
Why, who's chewing gum? Both of them?
You gonna give me a piece of tissue or what? Thank you. You got gum? No. Cool. All right. Here you are.
Thank you. Oh, that's a very sweet ring. Tell me about when he gave you the ring.
He proposed to me on Christmas and asked me to marry him. He just said, "Will you marry me?" And just gave me the ring.
He handed you the box? When you opened it up, were you excited? Is not an answer.
No, I was not. I was hesitant and felt uncomfortable since he did it in front of his family, and I felt like I didn't have a choice of whether to say. Felt pressured to marry him.
Well, did you wear the ring on New Year's Eve?
I did.
Were you still with his family?
Yes.
Did you wear the ring until you broke up?
I took it off once I got home.
When did you get home?
I think it was January 4th.
When did you break up?
A couple weeks after. He wanted me to move with him to Oklahoma, drop out of school, and start a family with him, and work part-time for the rest of my life. And I decided that wasn't
That wouldn't have been very smart.
Yeah.
Mr. Sellers, for her to do that. How much did you pay for this ring?
$750.
You know he's entitled to the ring back, don't you?
Yes. He told me, I asked him, and he said I could keep it. But I think it's only fair if I give him his ring back, I get my money that he owes me.
Well, is that right?
Yes.
Hey! Look at this happy ending.
I know.
Well, so that would be wonderful, right?
would,
You wouldn't
yeah.
mind if you got back the ring and let's say you could sell it. She's claiming a loan, $300 loan because you went to Oklahoma. Is that where you live?
Yes.
It's her claim that this was a loan that she gave you to go to Oklahoma so that you could buy clothes and traveling expenses and that sort of thing. And you said, well, you went together. You both spent money.
Yes.
Is that right?
No.
He didn't spend any money?
No, he got kicked out of the Navy, so therefore he had no money because he was broke.
Well, where did he get the money for the ring?
That's from his old checks, like his previous checks, and he stopped getting paid once he got kicked out.
When did you get kicked out of the Navy?
December of '04.
How come?
Drug use.
Went AWOL.
Didn't like the Navy anymore?
Dishonorable.
Okay. Would you kindly give him back the ring? Now you have the ring. And you can sell it, right?
Yes.
Now, telephone.
Yes.
Let me hear about the telephone.
He didn't have any money. He said he needed a phone. I bought him a brand new phone. He said, I promise I will pay you back. I will pay for the bills once I get my feet on the ground and start getting a job in Oklahoma.
Did you get your feet on the ground?
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
I had a part-time job.
So he never got his act together.
He did actually pay the bills for the first couple of months, but then stopped paying them.
And he canceled the service.
Yes, he changed, which also added a deactivation fee because he had to switch. He switched the telephone company.
How old are you, Miss Weiss?
19.
Who is this gentleman?
This is my father, and that's my classmate, Lorenzo.
I want you to consider yourself very, very fortunate. Because, you know, you could have actually moved to Oklahoma.
I know.
Working part-time, raising a whole mess of kids, no education. Got to look up and say, thank you, God. You were watching over me. All it cost you was a couple of $100.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you pay your own phone bill?
For a couple months.
What happened?
Well, I lost
Well
my
is not an
job.
answer, Mr. Sellers.
I lost my job and I couldn't pay for it, and I tried to pay half of it because it was up to $300, and I paid $150 of it. So I just never got around to pay the rest of it.
Well, you think that that's right, or you agreed to pay for it? Hmm?
It's not right.
Now you got the ring. You're going to sell the ring. How much do you owe her for the phone bill that you didn't pay?
I'm not really sure how much exactly.
Well,
Over
she's going to tell me.
$500.
What?
Over $500.
Really? Let
Yes.
me see.
I don't have the bills. I know.
Listen to me, my dear.
Yes.
You filed a complaint in which you say that you loaned him $300 that he used for these travel necessities,
Yes.
which I'm discounting. Put
Okay.
your hand down, sir. You can't help her. She got into this mess by herself. She's got to get out of it by herself. Maybe she'll learn a good lesson if she gets out of it by herself. So, you have to get the bills. You don't have the bills. How am I supposed to know? He doesn't know what the phone bill is, and you don't know what the phone bill is. That's the first thing that you know. You come to court, and you're supposed to have evidence. If you don't have evidence, I can't help you. Now, you changed phone carriers.
Yes.
Do you know that there's a penalty for that?
No, I did not know that.
He knew.
What was the fee for disconnecting the service?
$175.
Does that sound about right, Bert?
Sounds about right to me.
And I assume, again, you do not have any proof of that. What did you come here with other than your smile?
I don't know.
I don't understand. I really don't understand, Miss Weiss. You want to say something, sir? You're dying to say something, so stand up. I mean, you are the responsible person. You're the person who's been through life, who has certain life experiences. You know when you come to court, you come with?
Evidence, Your Honor.
So?
We attempted to get a copy of the phone bill because of the other party lived in Oklahoma. The phone bill came to Oklahoma and never came to our house in San Diego. There was a $405 balance on the phone and a $175 cancellation fee that Verizon's coming after us for. And we feel that the other party should pay for the phone because he used it.
I absolutely agree with you,
But
sir.
we don't have evidence.
It's the evidence. Now, how much do you believe you owe her on the telephone bill? I'm trying to be as fair to you, Miss Weiss, as I can. You're young, not too swift. How much do you think you owe, Mr. Sellers?
All of it.
How much?
600 and however much.
She didn't say it was $600, Mr. Sellers. I mean, it's absolutely impossible for me to fly blind. You said the phone bill was $500. He said, I owe all of it $600. I mean, it's stupid. It just changed. Take the ring out of your pocket. Then you put it in the other pocket. Dig deeper. Bird, would you give her back the ring, please? Just changed my mind. Now, Miss Weiss, this is what you're going to do. He got taken when he spent $700 for that ring, but there's no question in my mind that you could probably sell it for $3. So sell the ring. I'm going to give you $250 in addition to the ring to help defray the cost of this phone bill. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is that fair, sir?
Yes.
Perfect. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's broke, no education, no job. Basically, what was there good about him?
We really don't talk to each other anymore.
He's stupid.
She agreed to it. It was her idea, too.
Don't be nice and don't help out someone when they're not going to help you out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Whitmer versus Griffin. Step forward, please.
28-year-old hairdresser Lori Whitmer is suing her ex-boyfriend, ambulance builder DeJuan Griffin, for loans to pay his court fines and to reinstate his driver's license.
Miss Whitmer, it is your claim that Mr. Griffin owes you some money for court-related matters.
That is correct.
Mr. Griffin says that everything that you ever gave him, they were gifts.
Gifts.
Gave him, and there were no loans. There was never any intention to repay you, nor an agreement to repay you. When did you meet him?
December 2003 through some friends of mine at a party that we were having.
And when did you make the first loan?
Well, we were seeing each other up until September of 2004. We were still talking, you know, on an on-off basis, and then I got a call.
So you were casually seeing each other? You never lived together? There was never any discussion of marriage? It was just a casual relationship?
Yes.
Okay. September 2004.
I had gotten a call. He was locked up in jail.
For what?
For driving without a license.
You were locked up for driving without a license, Mr. Griffin?
Yes, ma'am.
How long were you locked up?
5 months.
Shh. Please. Mr. Griffin, that's impossible, sir.
It's not impossible. That's why I was there.
Well, why don't you tell me the story of how you got locked up for 5 months for driving without a license?
Well, I had warrants for tickets that I hadn't paid.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. So you had outstanding warrants for what kinds of tickets?
Driving without a license.
How many? Please. I don't want to have to say it again. Don't make my job any more difficult. How many times were you stopped for driving without a license, Mr. Griffin?
Maybe 3, 4.
You don't learn?
Yeah, I do learn. I have a driver's license now since I got out.
Well, how old were you the first time you got stopped for driving without a license?
19.
And why didn't you have a license?
Because they were suspended.
What was the reason your license was suspended?
Because I had a speeding ticket that I didn't pay.
All right. You see how we're going to get to this? You see how we're understanding each other now, Mr. Griffin? So you didn't spend 5 months in jail because you were stopped for driving with a suspended license, because they don't do that in this country. They do it, sir, if you get caught 5, 6, 7 times driving without a license, and you've got outstanding warrants for speeding tickets which you didn't pay, and outstanding warrants for the other driving while suspended that you didn't respond to, then eventually the criminal justice system has it up to here with you. And that's what happened, right?
Right.
Good. So you were an habitual person who flaunted the criminal justice system by not showing up, by not paying your fines, and by continuing to drive without a license.
I wasn't habitual.
Habitual means that you do it all the time, sir, and habitual is what you were.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why didn't you ask the mother of your children for the money?
Because she has my 2 sons. She needs whatever she already has.
Well, who does she take care of?
She was taking care of me.
Why would she want to take care of you, Mr. Griffin?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Whitmer says ex-boyfriend DeJuan Griffin owes for loans to pay court fines after his 6th arrest for driving on a suspended license.
Now, how much did you put up for him to get out of jail?
$947.
That was bail?
No, he was in a work release base, so they were taking money out weekly towards those fines, and then this was towards like a one lump sum so that he can get his license back and to get out sooner.
Okay, now I want you to think back when you went to court, because you were picked up on warrants periodically, is that right?
I have been before.
And you remember going before the judge?
Yes.
And you remember telling the judge that you were going to come back to court, you weren't going to warrant anymore, right?
Yeah.
And you remember telling the judge that you wouldn't drive anymore with a suspended license?
Yes.
How many times did you tell that to judges when they picked you up?
Like I said, I've been there 3 or 4 times.
So each time you told that to the judge that you were going to report to court, and that was a lie, because you didn't, because you had warrants, right?
Right.
And you said that you would not drive with a suspended license. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you continued to drive with a suspended license, right?
Yep.
So you lied to the judge.
Yeah.
And when you lied to the judge, Mr. Griffin, you had previously raised your right hand and sworn to tell the truth. Is that right?
Right.
But you didn't tell the truth, right?
It wasn't intentional, but that's the way it worked out.
You mean somebody drugged you and put you behind the wheel of a car, Mr. Griffin?
No.
You mean at the time that you made the statements to the court, you intended to keep your promise?
Yes.
But some little men that play in your head, you know, they forced you to get behind the wheel of a car and break your promise.
I had to go to work. I had no other way to get there. I have kids to take care of.
You have children to take care of. Do you live with your children?
No.
How many children do you have?
2.
How old are they?
6 and 7.
And you pay child support, sir?
Yep.
How much child support do you pay?
$77 a week.
They take it out of your salary?
Yep.
When you were in jail for 5 months on work release, how much did they take out of your salary for child support?
They didn't, but...
Right. So for 5 months, your kids sort of went on hiatus.
No. I was out every day. I paid myself. I gave money to my children's mom.
How much did you give her?
Probably $2,000, $3,000.
You believe that?
I don't know.
Mr. Griffin, there is no question that Miss Whitmer bailed you out so that you could get out. And then she gave you some more money. How much more money did she give you, Mr. Griffin?
$600 maybe.
How much?
$390.
And what was that for, Miss Whitmer?
To help him reinstate his license.
And how did that come about that he needed another $390?
March 3rd, he came to my job. He was dropped off, and he asked me if I would drive him to go to this insurance company to reinstate it.
What did you go to her for?
She offered to pay it for me.
When had you called her to tell her you were coming, and could she make a gift to you of this $390? When had you called her?
She'd known for months that...
Don't tell me what she knew. I asked you when you called her, because you wouldn't have gone there, sir.
That morning.
Did he call you that morning?
I believe so that morning, but I didn't know he was coming to my job.
What did he say when he called you in the morning?
That he was wanting to go take his test and just the appointment times and stuff like that, but he didn't say he was being dropped off to go and reinstate it.
He didn't say anything about money?
Not that I recall, no.
When you got there, Mr. Griffin, to her job, she drove you to pay this money?
Yeah, but to say that I just came there and out of the blue sprung up, I need some money when we're at the insurance company, that's not the way it happened.
Well, tell me how it happened, Mr. Griffin.
She knew I didn't have all the money. I called her and told her.
What did you call her and tell her for?
Because she was willing to help me pay it.
No. Why did you call her and tell her?
Because I needed more money.
Why didn't you get another job?
Why didn't I get another job?
That was my question.
I didn't need another job.
You did need another job if you didn't have more money.
I didn't need another job because she was willing to pay for it.
Why didn't you ask the mother of your children for the money? She's closer to you. You made 2 babies with her.
Because she has my 2 sons, she needs whatever that she already has.
Well, who does she take care of?
She was taking care of me.
Why would she want to take care of you, Mr. Griffin?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Who do you live with?
I take care of my 2 sons and a sick mom of mine.
Just a second. You have 2 children?
2 boys.
How old are they?
5 and 2.
Mr. Griffin, are you a lowlife?
No way.
Yes, you are. Mr. Griffin.
Yes.
Let me tell you why you're a lowlife. Because you just said to me, Mr. Griffin, the mother of my 2 children needs all the money that she can get because she takes care of my 2 children.
What's wrong
So
with
that's
that?
why I'm not calling her. Why do you think, sir, that this young lady who has 2 children needs money any less than the mother of your 2 children?
Because she was always willing to give it to me.
You're a lowlife.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
And a taker. And I don't see what she sees in you, sir. Certainly it's very well hidden to me. But you owe her $1,337 because she bailed you out. Next time, if you need money, Mr. Griffin, get another job. You're supposed to do the right thing, and you're not supposed to take advantage of people. Do I make myself clear, sir?
Sure.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 112 on the calendar in the matter of Neville versus Hubel. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Neville, Miss Hubel
Yes.
is your former daughter-in-law.
Correct.
She and your son have been divorced for 5 years. How many children do you have?
Just one.
How old is that child?
He's 9.
All right, now, Miss Neville, I have a few questions for you. While Miss Hubel was married to your son, did you get along?
Yeah.
Did she come over to your house for dinner?
Well, actually, they lived with me till he was almost 2.
So she lived with you?
Correct.
Must have gotten along.
Yes, we did.
And when they moved out into their own place, did they still come back with your grandson?
Correct. I babysat him when they worked, whenever they went out.
But then the marriage went south.
Correct.
And it is your claim that your former daughter-in-law has embarked upon a campaign of harassment, slander, defamation of your character that has gone on for a very long time. You want her to pay for that. Ms. Hubel says quite the contrary. When she was in the midst of a custody battle with your son, you called Child Protective Services on her often. You've harassed her over the years with complaints to Child Protective Services and the police.
Oh, yes.
And as a result of that, she's filed a counterclaim. When did the trouble start with Miss Hubel?
My son was taking my younger son, Dylan, and Jeffrey back to drop him off at his mother's work, the daycare. I was in between my bus routes. I'm a school bus driver. It was pouring down rain. He doesn't drive. So I ran down and gave them a ride up the hill about 1,500 feet to the daycare and dropped him off in front. And my grandson was ecstatic. Grandma dropped him off in the bus. I wasn't on my route. He ran in and I saw him gather all the kids that came to the window and they're all waving at me. So I smiled and waving at him. She walked over and slapped him and told me to get away from the window. I'm sorry. My older son was there, and they turned from the window. Her and the employees which were friends of hers said, "Let's call the school district and get her in trouble." I didn't know what was going on at the time. I went back on my route. I get a phone call on my bus. My supervisor goes, "Debbie, what's going on?" I go, "I don't know what happened." She said, "Some lady called and said you kidnapped her kid on her bus." And I said, "No, the only thing I did was pick up my grandson and my son." I was mortified.
So that's when the trouble started. What happened with that incident, Miss Hubel?
Actually, what had happened was, after numerous amount of times of her dropping Jeffrey off on the school bus without permission, I called the school district and spoke to her supervisor, with whom I have a letter stating that I was not harassing in any way, and that she was spoken to and told that he was not allowed to ride that school bus because he was not assigned that.
Okay. Had you, in the past, told your mother-in-law that you didn't want him riding the school bus?
No, we were not to be speaking at that time.
Why not?
There was orders.
So that the trouble started before that?
Oh, yes.
Well, that's what I'm asking. I want to know when the trouble started.
The problem started actually before I left Joshua, my ex-husband. Probably it was the first time that he was arrested for assaulting me. My son was 2 at the time. From that point on, there was no kindling of the relationship with me and Debbie.
Okay. How many times had he been arrested for assaulting you?
Twice for assaulting me. The last time he slammed me into a wall and tore my rotator cuff, and I had to have surgery.
Has he been convicted?
He sure has.
Did he serve any jail time?
Yes, he did.
How long?
He was sentenced to 30 days, but he ended up having an ankle bracelet because of whatever kind of medication he was taking. They wouldn't allow in the jail.
What kind of medication does he take?
Marinol.
What is that for?
I don't. All I know is it's THC in a pill. I don't know what it's for.
What kind of ailment does he have?
None that I'm
Do you
aware
know?
of.
Yes.
What?
He has a cancerous esophagus. He has a heart condition, and he has epileptic seizures. So
Okay.
he's on.
You didn't tell me he was convicted of assaulting his former wife.
I need to clear something up.
Uh-huh.
Number one, the lease was in my name. I rented the building because it gave them an opportunity to have their own place.
I'm not interested in that. My question, Miss Neville, is I asked you when the trouble began. And what you said was it started over this bus incident, which would have sounded really petty to me.
Yeah.
For her to file a complaint if she had a problem with you. You would all live together, pick up the phone and say, "Debbie, I don't want you dropping Jeffrey off on the bus. But that didn't happen.
Correct.
So the problem started before. And common sense would indicate to me you would have not been happy with your son's arrest for assault and spending any time in jail. And that probably precipitated the bad feeling between the two of you, which predated the school bus incident.
No, did it? She misled you on that fact.
No,
So what you're saying is the assault occurred before the school bus incident.
Oh, yes, this was before we were divorced. The first incident was before we were divorced. The second incident was in February of 2003.
And when was the school bus incident?
January 30th, 2003.
What was the second assault about?
He had came into where I worked, All About Kids, to do a visitation with my son. He came to pick up Jeffrey, and he slammed me into the door jamb of a wall and tore my rotator cuff, took off with Jeffrey. The police came. They went and found Josh and Jeffrey.
What was the altercation about?
A coat. A coat.
Now I understand that you don't like each other. Don't like each other, I don't get involved in. You claim lost wages and punitive damages for defamation of character.
Correct.
You have 1 minute.
She called my boss. I have documentation when she called, and they logged it over to my boss. There's no mention that she's my daughter-in-law, that that's my grandson, or my sons that I'm picking up. It says that unknown people and her son. He was on a visitation with him, and his father gave permission for him to ride the bus. So I have permission to give him a ride on my bus.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because if there is a court order of visitation, the court order of visitation provides that the child is to be picked up and returned at a specific location.
Correct.
Not by you.
Not by me.
But by his father.
And his father was on my bus. Let me explain, okay?
No. I want you to tell me what the lawsuit is about.
Okay. I'm sorry. So, I go back, I talk to my boss. My boss says, get an anti-harassment order because we don't want to deal with this problem. I did. I went before a judge.
All you had to do was stop taking your grandson off the road that you were supposed to be traveling with other children and not drop him off at the daycare.
Well, I hadn't had an opportunity not do that.
But Miss Neville,
I did what
Miss
the officer
Neville
told me.
No.
That's,
first of all, that's hearsay.
Excuse me.
Listen to me.
Explain this. You're twisting this.
I'm not twisting anything.
You are.
Now listen to me.
She's saying there was a DV assault, but they had got reconciled. They got together. They moved out. They left. She got caught cheating, having an affair with a high school kid.
Listen to me carefully. All you had to do.
Well, she doesn't mention that to you.
Just
I mean,
a second.
come on.
I'm talking about you and your lawsuit, which I'm going to lose my temper over in a couple of seconds.
Well, I've had to deal with it for 5 years. How do you?
You don't get 5 years worth, madam. What you're going to tell me is about lost wages.
Correct.
And punitive damages for defamation of character and slander. Get there.
What it had to do with is the whole school year of 2000 and 2004, she continued to make attacks on my person by making claims that my grandson's scared of me. She wrote the school this. She tried to get me removed from my school route by writing the school district.
Show me.
This is the statement, one letter that she wrote.
Okay, so after you stopped bringing him to the daycare, and there was no problem with that, she wrote this to the school.
Correct.
And you claim that this is harassment. I want to know what, this is a legal claim.
Yeah, she claimed she didn't want Jeffrey to speak to me or be near me, that he was scared of me.
Okay. She contacted the school, to whom it may concern. You sent this to the elementary school? And it merely says that she does not want, for whatever reason, which she outlines here, she doesn't want Debbie Neville to contact him while he's at school.
Your Honor, the reason why is because there was an incident with Debbie and my son Jeffrey at the school. I have a letter from his principal in regards to that, as well as a letter from my son's therapist that he's been seeing since kindergarten regarding the incident.
The therapist in September of 2003, and I don't want to go back there, says it's best for him not to have contact with you. Okay. Get to 2005.
Okay.
I want to hear how you have a lawsuit against Miss Hubel for lost wages and defamation of character.
Okay.
This is not a therapy
I
session,
know.
Miss Neville.
I know.
This is a lawsuit. So get there.
So several times during I had that anti-harassment order, I had to call the police and report incidences with her, and I have copies of a few of those.
Not interested.
And so the following...
I'm not interested. I'm interested in defamation
Okay.
and lost wages. And if you can't get there, I'm going to dismiss your case.
I had to select a different route the following year to prevent her from further tormenting me.
Okay, good. That's not a lawsuit. What else?
I lost wages because of that, because I didn't take that route because she kept calling the school district.
That's the way things go.
Here's a letter from his bus driver.
I'm not interested in a letter from his bus driver. I don't see a lawsuit,
If
Miss
you don't
Neville.
let me enter my evidence, how am I supposed to prevent a case?
I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me.
You just read documents that were not notarized, that I don't...
They're from school officials and a therapist.
The school official got fired because of what she did. Wrote that letter. She was not allowed to write that
Listen
letter.
to me. I'm not interested in anything that happened in 2003. This is not a therapy session. It's a court.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're going to have to move. Otherwise, there's going to be constant
It's not all
aggravation.
that easy just to pick up and move.
It's not all that easy. Have the last 4 years been easy?
No.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Debbie Neville claims ex-daughter-in-law Sarah Hubel has slandered her at her job. Sarah is countersuing for harassment.
I'm going to hear your counterclaim. 30 seconds. Get there.
Yes, ma'am. Well, as of this year, a couple weeks ago, she just had taken me to court again, trying to get an anti-harassment order for me. It was denied. This was the second order that she had tried to get against me that was denied. I'm continually having to go to court because of her allegations.
Where do you live?
I live in Seattle.
Which she moved right next door to me. Why she had the restraining order, she moved right up the street from me, right on top of my bus route, just so she could watch me come and go.
Where does your former husband live?
He also lives in Seattle.
How far away from you?
Well, actually, they just moved. Maybe about a mile from where I live.
Seattle's a big place. Why don't you move farther away from them?
I don't move farther away from them because my son goes to school there. He has gone to school there since kindergarten. I work right across the street from my son's school. I live right down the road.
Who else
That's
lives
where
with
it's
you
always
now, Miss
been.
Hubel?
Christopher Crippen.
Who is he?
My boyfriend.
Does he work?
Yes.
How long was the custody battle that you had with your former husband?
2.5 years.
Did he want custody?
No.
So he wanted visitation?
Just visitation.
Does he have visitation now?
Not any longer.
When was that terminated?
In March of 2003, right after the assault, I went to the court to get a protection order for my son to ask for supervised visitation. And Josh denied in open court that he wanted to have any visitation with Jeffrey if it had to be...
Supervised?
Supervised.
So are you telling me that he hasn't seen his son since March of 2003?
Correct.
Is he living with you?
He is.
Very sad family case.
Yes, it is.
Well, one thing you seem to be both accomplishing is you're both accomplishing making this little boy crazy.
Excuse me.
You got to get over it, both of you.
I've never even...
You don't have a lawsuit. This is not a lawsuit. This is aggravation.
It is aggravation.
It is aggravation.
It is.
You're causing each other aggravation. You have to stop.
Correct. But she won't stop.
I have the feeling, Miss Neville, and I could be wrong, but I have a feeling that if you had nothing to do with her, nothing to do with her,
you know
your
what?
problems would be over. I can understand why you're angry. I can understand.
Excuse me.
I can understand why you're angry. You have a son who's ill, who, according to you, has cancer. Takes medication.
No, it's not according
who's
to me.
been
I
in
have
jail.
the doctor's
I'm
reports
speaking.
right here.
You're not
But
following.
you're making statements.
You are over here.
But
you're not getting it.
It's not according to me. Here's some documents.
I agree with you. I accept the fact that he's ill.
And I don't call her job. I don't follow her around. I don't do that.
I have a feeling, Miss Neville, that Miss Hubel would like...
My witness can testify to her following me into the store, staying outside, waiting for me to come out of the store, and chasing me out of the parking lot. I've had her push a grocery cart into my leg.
You shouldn't have anything to do with each other. You shouldn't be near each other.
Your Honor, I thought it was supposed to be my turn to be giving my statements.
What I'm trying to do is to tell you, neither one of you has a lawsuit. You have created aggravation for each other.
What have I done to her? Excuse me, tell me. Do you have documentations of what have I called your job? Have I gone to your place of work? I avoid your place of work. My friends avoid you. The whole community avoids you because they're scared of you. They're scared if you get done tired being mad at me that they're going to stalk them. I have witnesses would not come because they're scared of her.
Well,
I lost business in my art because of her.
One way or another, if you want to live in peace, you're going to have to relocate.
Yes.
That's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to move out of Seattle. And if you don't do it, then you're just prolonging this bad feeling because she has a grown son who has an illness. That makes her feel bad as a mother. She has a grown son who probably says to her that he's sad because he can't see his son. That makes her feel protective. Do you understand? There's a story which is the underpinning of this lawsuit. You're going to have to move. And the faster you do it, the faster you're going to be able to enjoy your life. Do you get it?
Yes.
Otherwise, there's going to be constant
It's not all
aggravation.
that easy just to pick up and move.
It's not all that easy. Have the last 4 years been easy?
No.
Your son's 9 years old. It's not as if he's a junior in high school that he has to reacquaint with friends when he's a junior and he's going to graduate. He's 9 years old. He'll adjust to a new school. You want peace? Move. Lawsuit's dismissed. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may stay on the calendar in the matter of Johnson versus Ireland Pittman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Which one is Ireland? Good, so I know where we are. Ms. Johnson, it is your claim that you paid the defendants to produce a music demo for you.
That is correct.
And you paid them, and they didn't deliver what was promised.
That is
I don't
correct.
quite understand all of the technical stuff that you put in here. But Mr. Ireland and Mr. Pittman say that you never fully paid, that you don't get some sort of a master tape. This is going to get very complicated. And since you didn't fully pay them, you got everything that you're entitled to. Is that close enough?
That's very close.
So, how did you find them, and what was this contract that you entered into?
I worked with Terrence Ireland at a group home as a teacher's assistant, and he listened to my demo that
So
said...
you had a demo?
Yes, I had a demo with another producer. And Terrence let me know that he also was a producer and that I should let him listen to my music. He then listened to it and said that he would like to work with me. He invited me down to his studio to meet his cousin Jason in hopes that we would be able to work together.
Go ahead.
As of right now, I am the copyright owner and the author of the lyrics and the melody to the 5 songs that I created with the defendants from November 2003 up until May of 2004. Now, there is no written contract, only a verbal agreement which states a work-for-hire situation in which I pay a flat fee of $500 per song to the defendants and also have the use of their studio and their musical backings. They have no claim to copyright, they have no claim to royalties, and they have no claim to my master. Now,
How do I know that?
Say again?
How do I know that?
Because I created the songs. I also have the copyright material.
Why don't you have a contract?
He told me that I did not need a contract, that all I would need to do is give him $250 up front and $250 in the end for the songs
Doesn't sound
created.
very professional to me, Miss Johnson.
No, which is why I'm no longer wanting their services. That is correct. They raised the price of the 6th song, which I started creating. This here is a musical director of the Grammys and of the Turtles. He also listened to my demo and told me also that it is an unfinished project. And in order for me to finish my project with another producer, they would need my digital formatted copy or master of my music in order to help me. If you'd like to...
Are you following all of this?
Sure.
Why don't you explain it to me?
Okay. She paid them to produce her stuff. They have her master.
Right.
This guy here is telling her that she needs the digital master in order for another producer to help finish out her demo.
How much did you pay them altogether?
I paid them $2,500 for the 5 songs.
You have proof that you paid them $2,500?
I have proof for the 3 songs that I created. They're holding the other 2 receipts.
What'd you pay them in cash?
Yes, that is correct.
How much did she pay you?
She paid us all together. Let's see here. 500, 1,000, 1,500. Let's see. 16, 17, 17, 18, 19. $1,900, Your Honor. Sorry, I didn't have it all added up, but I do have all the receipts.
He says you pay him $1,900.
That is incorrect.
Show me proof that you paid him $25.
I don't have proof. They're keeping the other 2 receipts.
Well, how am I supposed to tell? He says you gave him $1,900.
Well, I have a disc of the 5 songs that I created with all 5 songs on them. They would not hand these songs over to me unless I had paid for the songs in which I created.
Well, what is it that you want from them? A master?
I want the master, the digital file that they hold in their possession, and also funds to finish my project. My project is not mixed nor mastered.
So you want them to give you what they got so far, plus give you more money?
Plus give me the money in order to finish. I also
She's not going to do that. I got to do that.
I have to finish.
Well,
right now,
finish it.
Right now, the project is incomplete. On
then
May
find
24th,
somebody to complete it.
Well, on May 24th, Jason sexually harassed me and told me that he works for music and that he could get me a deal if only I slept with him.
That was a very nasty thing for him to say. If you said that, that was a very nasty thing for you to say. Let's move on.
I have the 5 songs in which I created. They're withholding the other 2 receipts from me for sexual favors.
Now I don't get it.
What?
Now I don't get it.
I didn't get it either. Still don't get it. I want to get beyond this sexual harassment business that you tacked on to this. You want your master.
I want my master, and I want the funds that I need in order to finish the project.
They're not going to pay you that, Miss Johnson.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Good. Well, that's not going to listen to me.
Deal.
That's not going to happen. Okay, Mr. Pittman, listen to me very carefully, sir. These are her songs, correct?
No.
They're not her lyrics?
No.
They're not her music?
No.
Whose are they?
Ours.
You're telling me that you wrote the music?
Exactly.
Really?
Right.
Who wrote the lyrics?
I did. And Terry did. She actually went out and copywrote the music.
Behind our back.
Behind our backs.
Without our consent.
You don't know anything about that, right, sir?
No.
Because she says she wrote the music. They say they wrote the music.
She wrote the lyric and the melody for the songs.
How do you know?
She told me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen, when somebody wants to copyright an idea, they don't copyright the idea after they've already let it out of the bag.
Well, I'm the only one that has the copywritten information.
And I'm telling you that that was a bit of slick maneuvering.
And later today...
The jealous type?
No, but...
A little bit?
Sure, isn't everybody?
I don't know. Depends upon if you've got something to be jealous about.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michelle Ayanna Johnson claims music producers Terrence Ireland and Jason Pittman owe for the return of her music and for sexual harassment.
Now, you don't know who wrote the music. She says she wrote the music. They say they wrote the music.
May I say something, please, about that?
Sure.
There's 2 elements to a song. The lyric and the melody is the copyrightable item.
Yes.
You cannot copyright an arrangement.
No, I understand that.
Okay, so
that I understand.
She claims to me
that she wrote that.
The lyric
I don't
and
care
the
what you
melody.
believe. What you believe is irrelevant to me. She said to you, I wrote the lyrics and the melody.
Yes.
He says that he wrote the lyrics.
Lyric and melody. Okay.
I want to see the sheet music when it was written. Let me see. Don't you have that? Somebody have that?
I have the copywritten with the Library of Congress that I submitted.
When?
On March of this year, 2004.
Well, when did you record it?
I recorded it from November of
Well, then what
2003.
difference does it make if you sent to the Library of Congress something after you made the recordings?
Because I was determined that I was finished working with him.
Listen to me. If you write something, and if you know, Miss Johnson, that what you can do in order to solidify your position as the author of a piece of music, that you copyright it and you sent it to the Library of Congress, why didn't you send it before you recorded it?
Because when the defendants had the beats, I then wrote the music to the beats, so I didn't have the words when I came to the studio.
Just a second. When you say that they wrote the beats is a melody.
No, the
listen.
guitar and the instruments. I wrote the way the song was supposed to be arranged.
Nobody is ever going to be able to tell what happened here because the three of you, semi-professionals, don't have a contract. And I'm not going to be able to tell who came in with the music and who didn't. You copyrighted something, but you copywrote it after you recorded it. So if you write the words to music and you want to copyright the words that you wrote to music, you copyright them by sending them into the Library of Congress.
Which is what I did.
You did it after you recorded them.
Well, I was still recording. This shows in March. This date here shows the March
Listen to
of
me, you said you
2004.
started in November.
I started with them in November. That
Right,
is
you
correct.
started with them in November.
Right.
Miss Johnson.
And it took about a month and a
Miss
half
Johnson,
to finish a song.
I cannot tell who wrote this music.
Well, I'm the only one that has the copywritten information.
And I'm telling you that was a bit of slick maneuvering because you already had recorded them. You already in March decided not to work with them anymore. So you said, bet you they didn't copyright it. So you sent in your copyright to the Library of Congress. And I'm telling you, if you were operating in good faith, you would have done it before since you knew how to do it.
Amen.
Listen, when somebody wants to copyright an idea, they don't copyright the idea after they've already let it out of the bag. They do it beforehand.
Well, Andy Kahn heard my music, and he told me also that my project was not finished. But after
Listen,
the
Miss
fifth
Johnson,
song...
I can't help you, my dear. Can't help you. Case is dismissed. That's what you have. You have 2 demos.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy, she made the right decision.
Well, I think it was a total sham.
She came in a I Dream of Jeannie costume with finger cymbals and tried to perform a dance for us in order to take our minds off the pocket.
That's just their dream and their fantasy.
We got a little rap for y'all. Bust it out. Check it out. Check it out. Yo. You can call me Jason or even Perry Mason. You got to pay whether you recording or you hating. You want to dance with Jason, but you ain't got the skill. We went on Judge Judy, yeah, we kill.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Utico versus Corona, step forward.
Accountant Michelle Utico is suing her ex-boyfriend, plumber Stephen Corona, for ramming her Toyota 4Runner with his truck. Stephen claims Michelle is making up a story.
Miss Utico, this gentleman used to be your boyfriend, and according to your complaint, he got angry with you one evening and he intentionally damaged your truck. And Mr. Corona says that while he was angry that evening, he didn't do anything to your car, right?
That's correct.
Tell me when Mr. Corona damaged your car.
That evening, after I dropped him off at home.
What evening?
May 21st a.m., May 20th, midnight.
And where had you been?
We were first at my house, and we got into an argument, and then I dropped him off at his house.
What'd you get into an argument about?
Just general things, what couples normally get in arguments about.
I usually get into an argument with my husband about how many pairs of shoes I bring home.
Okay.
So what were you arguing about?
You know, I don't recall what the argument was about, but we got into one, and I dropped him off at home like he wanted to go. He wanted to leave, so I took him home.
What time?
It's probably about 10 or 11 at night.
And where did you go when you dropped him off?
I went over to his house to visit.
What's his name?
This is my friend Frank. And I was there with a couple of friends. We were sitting out on the front porch, and then that's when he showed up.
And Mr. Corona, you acknowledged that you came looking for her.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And what happened when he came looking for you?
Well, he had asked for me to get into my truck and go home, to let's go home.
When he told you to get into your truck and let's go home, was he in his car or out of his car?
He was out of his car at the time. He parked next to my car on the street, and he got off of his car and pretty much demanding for me to leave. And with the look in his eyes it pretty much looked violent, and I did not want to go, so I didn't.
He told you to get in the car and go home?
Yeah.
And what did you say to him?
Well, I was going to go. But then, I turned around and I said, no, I'm not going.
What did you say to him?
I didn't say anything to him.
When he said get in the car, did you tell him okay?
Yeah, I said okay. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking. It's not a hard question. Okay. I'm just trying to follow the events. What happened starting from once upon a time and ending with the end. So he got out of his car and he said, get in the car, I want you to go home. He says he acknowledges he said that to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said okay.
Right.
And he says that that's what you said. You said you would follow him, right?
She said she was going to go home to meet her there.
But then you decided not to go home.
Yes, I decided not to go home.
So you turned around and you said to your friend,
right,
Frank.
Correct.
Frank, could you sit up, please? Sit up. Good. Thank you, Frank. You said to Frank and his friends, I'm not going with him.
That's correct.
And you went back to the porch.
Right.
So far, your stories are exactly the same. But here's where we come to a fork in the road.
Right.
What happened next, Miss Utico?
Well, he got upset. He got into his car, and he wrecked into my car, which was not good enough for him, so he sped off and made a U-turn and came back around and wrecked even more into my car. And then
What do you mean wrecked? I don't know.
He wrecked his car into my car.
You mean he hit his car into your
Yes,
truck?
he hit his car into mine. So.
And he did that twice?
He did it twice.
Mr. Corona?
Yes, ma'am.
I've read your answer, and you flatly deny that this is the way it happened. So I have a few questions for you. Mr. Corona.
Yes.
What did you have an argument with Miss Utico about that evening?
We were arguing about her staying home and her wanting to go out, and I was trying to get her to stay home, but she insisted on leaving. She told me that she had to get up to go to work in the morning. That's why she wanted to drop me off, because usually I stay the night there. And it was kind of odd that she wanted me to go home, because she actually picked me up, and usually I drive over there, but she picked me up earlier, and then she dropped me off. You know, she insisted on dropping me off.
I don't... Excuse me, ma'am.
So, you cared about her a lot?
Sure. Very much so.
You the jealous type?
No, but I...
A little bit?
Sure, isn't everybody?
I don't know. Depends upon if you've got something to be jealous about. So let me understand this, Mr. Corona. Your girlfriend tells you she's got to get up early in the morning and she drives you home.
That's what she said.
You've got something in the back of your head that says, what's your first name?
Steve.
Steve. Steve, something's not kosher here. Because I usually spend the night, so I'm going to get into my car and go and look for her. Right? That's what you did.
Exactly.
And you're driving around, and something said, why don't you go over to old Frank's house? So you had the feeling maybe she was over there fooling around with Frank, right?
Possibly.
Well, you were going to give it a look-see anyway, right?
Sure.
I mean, is that what happened? Sure, that's where your car ended up.
Sure.
And then, sure enough, your girlfriend of a year and a half who had to get up early to go out to do something the next day, there she was, sitting, chilling with Frank on the porch. And you double parked your car next to hers.
Exactly next to hers on the side, parallel.
And you got out of the car and you said, I want you to get into the car and come home with me. Right?
And she said
and
yes.
she said...
She said yes.
Yes.
She said, I'm going to follow you. I'll meet you at my house.
I'm going to follow you home. I'm going to meet you home. And then she didn't.
That's right.
And then, according to your answer, you went home and went to sleep.
That's right.
That's wrong.
First, before that, before I went home, I went to her house and I waited in the front for her at her house.
Just a second. So you actually followed her direction and you went home.
Yeah. No.
How long did you sit in your car in front of her house waiting for her?
About 20 minutes.
Till he broke into my house.
Don't speak. 20 minutes?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes. And while you were waiting this 20 minutes, did you start to get upset?
No.
You started to get, just a second, you started to get, if you weren't upset, did you start to get hungry?
I was.
Shh. Did you start to get hungry? Tired?
Yeah, tired, yes.
So you were tired?
Yes, I was tired.
And you said, forget it.
Exactly.
She made a fool out of me.
I'm done with it.
I'm finished with her.
That's right.
She made a real fool out of me this time because she made a fool out of me earlier in the evening when she drove me home. And she was maybe going to have somebody else come and stay over, but it wasn't going to be me that night. And now I went over there and made a fool out of myself in front of other people. And she made a bigger fool out of me, so you went home and went to sleep.
I threw in the towel.
Could I see the pictures of the car, please? You have a police report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Well, you made the report the very next day.
Right.
What happened? Did they ever come to see you, Mr. Corona? The police?
No, ma'am.
They never came to see you?
No, ma'am.
You live in Los Angeles?
Yes.
They're probably real busy. Mr. Corona, I'm going to ask a question, but you don't even have to answer, Mr. Corona. I want you to look at my face. It's a nice face, right? You wouldn't lie to this face, Mr. Corona, would you? So I don't even want you to answer me, sir. Did it feel good? Did it feel good? It's going to cost you $2,284.56. I hope it felt that good. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Cronister, this is your son?
Yes.
He's 17 years old?
Yes.
Have you ever had any trouble with him driving a car?
That was the first incident. He had only had his license for a month when this incident occurred.
Okay. What's your first name?
Corey.
So let's talk about this, Corey. Okay. According to your complaint, Mr. Wynn is a real nut. And he chased you in his car for no reason and caused you to have an accident. And after you had the accident and he caught up with you, he slammed his car into yours, causing damage to your car. So you had damage from the accident and you had damage from his car hitting yours.
Yeah.
And in addition, you say that he slammed the trunk of your car on your arm.
Yes, ma'am.
When you went to get a baseball bat out of the trunk of your car, and that caused you injury. All told, you want Mr. Wynn to compensate you in the amount of $2,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wynn says that he was being a good Samaritan.
Yes, ma'am.
That he saw you involved in a hit-and-run accident. You took off after you hit something, and he was following you until he could get the police to apprehend you. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Wynn. On what day were you being this good Samaritan?
June 30th, I believe it was.
April 30th.
April 30th. I'm sorry, excuse me.
And where were you going to and where were you coming from?
I was coming home from work.
And what time of the day was it that you were coming home from work?
Approximately 3:45, 10 to 4.
What kind of car were you driving?
I drive a 95 Dodge van. It's my work van, so I carry all my equipment and tools in it. It's a full-size van.
And what car were you driving, Corey?
95 Ford Taurus.
Whose car is that?
That was my car. It was in her name, but I was driving it.
Who was with you?
3 of my friends were with me.
Did you ever have an agreement with your mother not to drive other people around in your car?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Wynn. So you're driving down the road, and what do you see that draws your attention?
I was heading south on Blanding. He was coming north on Blanding. There was a white car. It was a good ways ahead of me, probably 100, 150 yards ahead of me.
Ahead of you?
Ahead of me.
So you're going in the opposite direction?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He made the turn to go down Alligator, which is my road that I go down also. I seen him hit the back end of the white car. It wasn't real hard, but he did hit it and just took off. I mean, he just nailed it and went. The lady who was driving the other car, which I didn't stop, had pulled over, was getting out of the car as I rounded the corner, and I just stepped on it trying to catch up with the car, see if I could at least get the tag number. That's all my intention was, is to get the tag number. Being he's in a smaller car and I'm in a big van with a lot of tools and equipment, I couldn't keep up with that van, with the car.
My car is not a smaller car. It's not like a little bitty car. It's a big car. I can fit like probably 6 or 7 people in my car.
I'm not asking you that, Corey, dear.
Sorry.
Mrs. Cronister, you weren't there.
I know.
You weren't there. Does Mr. Wynn look like a nut to you?
No.
He does not. He doesn't look like a nut.
But I believe his behaviors throughout the thing were...
Just a second. He doesn't look like a nut.
No.
So if your son told you that he didn't hit this car, his son is lying to you.
My son never said he did not. He admitted to hitting the car, even to the police.
Good. So you hit this car.
Yes, ma'am, I bumped the car.
After you hit the car, what did you do?
On the Alligator, the road that he was turning on, we stopped. The other car was going the other way, like we were in the median and we were coming across. We stopped and looked over, and then her car just kept going. So we just kept going. And then with this car, the van, we seen a van behind us. I started taking the turns to go to my house. They were like, "This van's following you." I said, "The van's following me?" They said, "Yeah, speed up." So I said,
just a second. Did you get out of your car to look and see if there was any damage on your car?
No, ma'am.
Why not? When you hit somebody, when you hit somebody and you're moving, that's what you do.
Yes, ma'am. It was a very slight bump, so I knew there was nothing wrong with the car.
Got it?
Yes.
Now, I can understand a woman in a car with 4 men in another car who's bumped, maybe not feeling comfortable about pulling to a complete stop, if that's what she says is happening. But that doesn't mean his first reaction isn't to get a plate number and then report it to the police. Right?
I had no disagreement with that. Right.
Fine. So he started following you. And then what happened?
So they were like, "He's following you." So I took down a couple roads. I was still driving, just regular driving. And he kept following.
Now, you saw him immediately after you hit the white car.
No, man, I took a turn, and then they.
Why did you take a turn?
I never saw him. My friend said.
Why did you take a turn?
Because I was turning to go to my house. I just kept going. I didn't think nothing of it.
What street did you turn down?
It's just like a little dirt road that comes onto a alligator.
Do you know what street he's talking about?
No, ma'am, I had it written down, but I didn't. I apologize, I didn't bring it. But he turned down that one. He turned down several of them. And as far as regular driving, he was fishtailing.
You hit the white car, and how much later did you take a turn?
Probably 5 minutes. I mean, I had to go down Alligator a little ways.
About 3 blocks.
3 blocks. Now, he's following you. You're 4 guys in a car. He's 1 guy in a van.
Well, we didn't know who. Like, I couldn't see inside his van. We didn't know anything about the van. We just knew that he kept saying he was following you. He's following you. So I said, okay, well, let's find out if he's following me. So I started turning down roads that I wasn't on my way to go home. And I just started down and turned him, and he's still there. I started looking in my rearview mirror. He's still there.
Why didn't you go down the road and go home and call the police?
Because my house was an hour away from there. I live a long way away from town.
Well, what about your friends? How close do they live?
They, I would have had
Corey.
to... Yes,
Corey.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
As a very, very dear friend of mine says, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. Ultimately, it's only my opinion that counts.
And later today...
So you went from her to her, back to her. Is that right? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes,
you must have some secret something, George, and if you do, it's got to be a good secret, because I don't see it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 17-year-old Corey Rossell says fellow motorist Russell Wynn ran him off the road during a chase. Russell says Corey was fleeing the scene of a traffic accident.
Now, did you ever think that the woman that you hit in the white car was thinking the same thing about you and your 4 friends in your car?
No, ma'am, because we had stopped and we saw her drive off, so we just thought it was just...
She didn't drive off.
No, ma'am, he didn't even slow down.
She didn't drive off. That's what you told your mother.
If he'd have stopped, ma'am, I'd have went on my way, thought nothing of it.
If she would have stopped, how would he have known that she stopped if he was following us from the minute that he saw it?
Because he says he saw you hit her and take off. That's how.
That didn't happen. We stopped. I swear we stopped.
That's what you do when you hit another car, even if it's a little bump. You get out, you look at your car, you look at their car, you say, is everything all right? Are you all right? And then you leave. Unless you're scared that you've had your driver's license for a month, you got 4 friends in the car, and maybe if you just take off, this whole nasty thing's just going to go away. It's just common sense, Corey. That's what makes the world go round, common sense. That's why he was chasing. He's not a nut. He sees 4 kids in a car, hit another car, and take off. And that's why he was following you.
There was other incidents that made me feel different after the fact that we got onto the main road, and he was still right behind me. Well, it's just rained, so it was pretty slick outside, and I started going through all these roads. I finally got to the end of the road, so I turned onto a main road, and he was still right behind me. He's still there. He got right up beside my car. This is why I didn't think he was actually following me, because he ran my car off of the road. And he ran my car off the road to where he almost ran right into my driver's side door. And then he got out, and all I could hear was him cussing and cussing and cussing. And so I just took off. I was like, I'm not going to sit here for this. And I took off, and then I was like, I'm turning here, and it just rained, and I had a lot of dirt on my tires, so it's slick, and I just ran right into the tree. And then after I hit the tree, I backed up, and the guy was still back there. And I started going through the parking lot, and they're like, he's still there.
And you got 3 other teenagers in the car with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
He's supposed to stop.
Well, I agree at one instant, but I'll be honest, I have told my children that because previously in Florida around our area, people have been shot, you know.
You mean cars bumped?
Cars bumped, you know, all
That's
that
why
kind of
the
stuff.
white car may have moved on with 4 men in the car behind them.
I agree.
How do you not do the right thing and then come to court to sue about it?
Because I think he took justice into his own hands. I think he could have taken the license plate down.
Just a second. Do you think that your son was driving recklessly during that time?
I'm not saying he was in the right either, but I'm just...
Listen to me, Ms. Chronister. Then what you have to say is, if my son did something wrong, and as a result of my son doing something wrong, there was damage to my car, you don't come to court and sue over it.
I guess my main problem and concern comes in from when they did get on the main road. And he did come up on the side of them to the point where...
So get him over so that he would stop his car.
And when he did stop his car, he comes out cussing and hollering.
How many minutes did it take for him to chase you down?
Probably 20, 25.
He's on his way home from work.
And I understand that, but it's not even like his car was involved in it. He was supposedly being a good Samaritan, I understand, but I just think he went overboard.
You're entitled to your opinion. As a very, very dear friend of mine says, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. Ultimately, it's only my opinion that counts. Your son did the wrong thing. He hit a car, he took off from the accident. This gentleman who was just looking to go home after a day's work said, it's not right, they just hit this lady in a car and took off. 4 kids in a Taurus, and I'm going to catch up with him, and I'm going to get his license plate, and I'm going to see to it that he's reported, and your son takes off and takes him on a 25-minute chase. I would have taken away his driving privileges. Did you get him a new car?
No.
Good. Your case is dismissed.
But ma'am, I have a question though. After my son wrecked, this is where the punitive comes in, he hits him from behind, gets out of his car with a bat, and follows my son with a bat in his hand, screaming and yelling at him.
Threatening
How is
with
that?
a bat.
And what did your son do?
My son stood there and yelled. They were yelling. His car was smoking. Then my son went around and went to get the bat, and that's when
Went to get his bat.
Right.
Case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She kept going, like I said.
My intentions was only to get his tag number.
No evidence was found that I hit her.
I was bound and determined to get the tag number.
There was no evidence she was ever there.
That's the only thing I was trying to do, is get a tag number.
It's just my word against his, and I guess his won.
I just doing my duty.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lopez Chantarasaka versus Muth. Step forward, please.
18-year-old Beverly Lopez and her boyfriend, 20-year-old waiter George Chantarasaka, are suing George's former lover, 19-year-old tutor Saram Muth, for breaking into their home and stealing property.
Pronounce your last name for me.
Chantarasaka.
Chantarasaka. What's your first name?
George.
George. Do you mind?
No.
According to your complaint, this young lady is George's former girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend.
Former, that's former.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
And it is your claim that she broke into the apartment that you now share with George.
Yes.
Broke the door to your bedroom, vandalized the room, and took some of your property. Your defense is that it's your apartment, and you have the right to go into your apartment because you're on the lease.
Yes.
And you did take some of her property, but that was a mistake.
Yes, I did.
But that you gave it back to her.
Yes, I did.
When did you break up with George?
We broke up a week before I left, which was about May 24th.
And when did you come back to the apartment on the incident that Miss Lopez is complaining about?
A week after June 11th.
And when did you move into the apartment, Miss Lopez?
I think the last week of May.
And you moved in with George?
Yes.
So now he's your boyfriend?
He's been my boyfriend. We broke up for about a month, and that's when he got with her.
So you went from her to her, back to her, is that right? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
You must have some secret something, George, and if you do, it's got to be a good secret, because I don't see it. Now, you came back June 18th. Tell me why you came into the apartment. What were you looking for?
I came back to the apartment to drop off his wallet because he left it in my cousin's car. And I was there to pick up some of my stuff and take it back to California with me. Little did I know, my door was locked. So out of anger, I broke my door.
The door that you had that you say was locked, is that a door to a bedroom that you had shared with George?
Yes.
So it was George's bedroom as well?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
So I broke off the doorknob, went in, took my stuff, and I also took her stuff out of anger.
And where did you put them when you took them?
I actually took it with me to California. But then I realized my stupidity, and I brought it back the next day.
You're lying.
Just a second, did you get it back?
No, I didn't get any of my stuff back.
Show me that you brought it back and gave it to her.
I have a witness who can't come in because she's a minor.
Well, then if you have a witness that I can't question, then you have no witness.
You're right, I don't. But I did bring it back. Why would she wait for a month to file a report saying that I stole her stuff?
I called you and I told you that I wanted my things
Listen,
back.
Miss Lopez, don't speak to her. Speak to me.
Okay.
Did you get your property back?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you have a bill for the replacement of the doorknob?
No, I don't.
I don't know.
But this is the doorknob. This is how it looks when she broke it off.
I don't need the doorknob, madam. She says she broke the doorknob. I need what it's going to cost to fix it.
Well, we don't have the bill.
You have a list of items that she took out of your room?
I have a police report.
Well, you originally told the police, madam, that all the stuff that was taken was original value and current value were the same, $900. Why are you suing her now for $4,500?
Because my things are actually worth more than $900 at
You
the
mean
time.
they increased in value since you filed the police report?
No, I didn't.
Listen to me. If you file a police report and they ask you what the value is and you gave them their original value and the current value, I assume that when you filed that police report you were trying to be as accurate as possible. Is that right?
Yes, but at the time I wasn't really thinking because I was really...
And now you're thinking? Is what you're telling me now you're thinking? Heaven help me. You have no right to take up property and you have no proof that you returned it. I have no idea how much it's going to cost to fix the doorknob because you don't bring me a bill.
And she broke my video camera too.
You have a bill to have it fixed?
No, I don't.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I'm not a mind reader.
Your Honor, I did not break his video camera.
I'm not considering the video camera because people have to know that when they come to court, they have to be prepared. They have to be prepared with documents. They have to be prepared with receipts. They have to be prepared.
But
I'm speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They have to be prepared with an estimate of what it's going to cost to fix property if there's an allegation of damage. And if you don't have that, the judge isn't going to get it for you. George, you got it?
Yes, yes.
Good. As far as you're concerned, you made this report soon after the incident occurred. You told the police what happened. You told the police what your property was worth. You told them at that time that it was worth $900, which is probably a stretch. Certainly that stretch isn't going to be stretched into $4,500. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $900. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Ms. Chan, parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Mr. Newsom, it is your claim that owing to the defendant's negligence, your dog ran away. I assume this is the dog. As a result of that, you found the dog in pound. You had vet bills, pound costs, etc. Ms. Chan says that you were a squatter on her property. You were not a tenant there, that the dog was left in her backyard. She opened the gate to leave. Your dog ran out. She had absolutely no obligation to go chasing after your dog. And in addition, she says that while you were a squatter there, you hit her house with your truck. You caused damage to her home. She wants you to pay for that. Ms. Newsom, do you own this house?
I own the house.
How many apartments do you have in the house?
3 houses over there, triplex.
3 houses?
Right, triplex.
And Mr. Newsom, he is not a tenant of yours, is
No,
that right?
not at all.
Is that
Not
right,
at all.
sir?
Yeah, I didn't live there.
Did you park your truck there at her house?
I visited my friend Mario on the weekends because I had lived in LA at the time, and then I was working in Yorba Linda, so I stayed in Yorba Linda during the week, and I come in town on the weekends and stay with him on the weekends.
So you were staying there with your truck?
Yes, on weekends.
For how long?
I don't know, a month and a half or something, but I forget now. He was, until Mario moved out. I don't remember, I wasn't paying attention.
Well, let's try to pay attention and get specific. What month did you start to come in to visit Mario?
It would have been November 2003 through December of 2003.
And when did your dog disappear?
I guess, from what I understand, it was 4 days before I came to pick him up, which would have been on the 15th of October, I guess. I realized he had disappeared on the 19th when I came to pick him up.
You said you stayed there from November of 2003 till December of 2003.
That's right.
Your dog disappeared in October. That doesn't make sense.
That's right, because I wasn't staying there when my dog was being watched there. I went to Oregon to visit a friend and his mother who was dying. When I came back is when I, at that point, started staying there. And he was watching my dog for me while I was gone in Oregon.
How long did you leave your dog there?
I don't know, I think 10 days it was.
What's your name, Mario?
Yes, ma'am.
Stand up. Mr. Carmona, where was Mr. Newsom staying when he stayed in your house?
He would either stay upstairs, sleep on the floor upstairs, or because I had my aunt, my brother, and his girlfriend at the time, he didn't want to be a further inconvenience. So he said just lend him a couple blankets and he'd go ahead and just sleep in his bed of his truck for the night. I'd tell him to go upstairs and sleep in the...
And in what month did he come to stay with you?
But he didn't live, like he said, he would come over and visit on the weekends, but that started around November, about November.
All right. Now, when he left in October, he says he left his dog with you. Did he leave his dog with you?
Yes, he asked me if I could keep an eye on his dog while he went to go take care of some business that he had to take care of up in Oregon, I believe it was.
So, did you take care of his dog?
Yes, he left all the food that he needed. He left it upstairs with me.
How did the dog get away?
That is a good question. There was an incident where the dog was running around loose prior to Mr. Newsom leaving to Oregon. I had to call him because I couldn't put the dog back on his leash, on his runner.
Why not?
He wouldn't listen to me. I called Mr. Newsom. He had to drive back an hour. He put him back on the leash, and I informed everybody in my house, don't let him off the runner. He had plenty of rope, plenty of chains so he could run around.
So you left him in the backyard?
He had a big backyard to run around.
You left him in the backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
Did he come into the house in the evening?
No.
So you left him in the backyard all the time?
Yes.
Was this backyard solely for you and the two other people on the lease, or was it for a lot of other people?
It was a shared backyard.
Well, what gives you the right to put the dog in the backyard?
None, but I did ask Ms. Chan that I was going to be keeping an eye on the dog. There was a doghouse in the back because there was already a dog
When did you ask Ms. Chan if you could keep the dog?
Before Mr. Newsom left for Oregon.
Did he,
I asked her.
Ms. Chan?
No.
Of course not.
Yes, I did.
No, I don't believe you.
Okay.
Don't believe you, sir.
No.
If you had a dog that you couldn't control and there were other tenants using that backyard, it is unlikely that a landlord whose insurance is responsible would say, sure, keep a dog that's uncontrollable in the backyard so my other tenants are going to have trouble. Unlikely.
Ma'am.
All right. Do you know how the dog got away?
No, ma'am. All I know is when I left to work that morning, the dog was on the leash. When I came home, it wasn't on the leash. I spoke to Ms. Chan, asked what happened.
And what did she say?
She said she had opened up the gate to give both dogs because the other tenants that lived on the property had a pit bull that, if Ms. Chan may remember correctly, the first day that I went over there to look at the apartment
Just do me a favor. Just tell me what happened with your dog.
I asked what happened to the dog.
And she said?
She said that she let the dogs out to play and she opened up the gate so they could run around and they never came back.
What happened, Ms. Chan?
No, because I went out. I parked in my car in the backyard. When I go out, I go to get my car and I gotta go. So I opened my gate, I went, and the dog went too. They both went together. One is female, one's male.
So they were not on a leash?
No.
They were not on the lead?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
And you didn't go after them?
No.
Right. I wouldn't go after them.
It's not my dog. Why should I go after them?
Absolutely right. What else do you want to tell me?
I would like to tell you that Mrs. Chan was totally comfortable with my dog being there. And once I come back from Oregon and found my dog, took him to the vet, took care of all that, and I still continued to come on weekends and visit. She had no problem with me helping her property. Her property was in pretty bad state of...
what does that have to do with your dog?
It's got to do with the fact that she was comfortable with me being there when I was helping her out on her property. She was, before her denying that my dog was allowed to be there, she had no problem with my dog being there.
Just a second. You're not following, sir. She has no duty to run after your dog.
But she has the duty, if she says it's okay for my dog to be in that yard, to allow it to be there while it's there.
Listen to me, sir. She has no duty to run after your dog.
You're right. Unless she let him off his leash.
She says she didn't.
Of course she did. She's not going to admit to it now that I've got a $500 bill in front of her. Yeah, I guess not. She was pretty sure I wasn't going to sue her either. But the problem we have here is...
Listen, Slick, take care of your own dogs. If you have to go to Oregon, take your dog with you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Madam, I can't tell what happened with this house. It looks like it's in deplorable condition.
The whole property is.
That's why
listen to me. I'm speaking. I don't need you to help me.
You're right.
And later today...
He was incarcerated for 2 years. Then he became uncontrollable again, and he was getting physical with me, pushing me around, and he was getting really out of hand.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Newsom says his friend's ex-landlord, Lai Chan, allowed his dog to run away. Lai says James is homeless and he was squatting on her property.
Listen to me. I want to know if when you were going into her house, you banged into her house.
I never went in her house, and I did not hit her house.
Okay. When do you say he hit your house with his truck?
During the time he stayed in my backyard, and at night, because it's dark, he said he can't see it. He hit it, and the next morning I asked him to...
What date?
I don't have the date.
Well, why did you wait so long?
Because he's homeless.
Because
I don't know where he is.
No, it's because she countered her suit after she received mine. Of course.
Probably true.
I went over there the other day after I found out she was suing me and took pictures of the only place you could possibly hit her house. And the house doesn't show that, I mean, the house is just in bad shape altogether, but I don't know how you could say if I hit it or I didn't hit it. I mean, it's just in bad shape. Although I did re-roof one of her houses that I have another suit against her for because she refused to pay for that. And I have pictures of the fact that the house she lives in has got a roof blowing off and a house next to it that's hers. I did the roof on, and I have not been paid for that.
What?
This is an estimate.
Madam, I can't tell what happened with this house. The house, it looks like it's in deplorable condition.
The whole property is.
That's why he
Listen
hit.
to me. I'm speaking. I don't need you to help me.
You're right.
The house is in deplorable condition. I can't tell what he hit and what he didn't. He just said he didn't hit your house. You're not responsible for his dog. He's not responsible for your house.
Oh,
Mr.
you know what?
Mario
Check
moved
this
out?
Yeah, it's
Mario
gone.
moved out?
Gone.
Good. Goodbye. Have a happy life.
And I knew you'd do that. That's all right, though.
Good.
That's all right.
Parties are excused. Step out, please.
You're exactly what I thought you'd be. Come on, Hood. Let's go. That's why I should never come to this court. I knew she'd do that. All I know is he wasn't there when I came back from Oregon, and nobody told me nothing.
He lied in the court. He been staying there for at least 4 or 5 months.
I came in, I asked Mario. He just pointed and said, go talk to Miss Chan. He didn't want to tell me a word.
I tell him, that's your responsibility. Don't put me on.
I went and talked to her. She goes, I don't know nothing. I know nothing.
I don't want to help nobody no more. Once enough. And they put me on the court? No.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hammond versus Hemstreet. Step forward.
16-year-old Robert Hammond III and his dad, Robert Jr., are suing Robert's mother, property manager Carolyn Hemstreet, for taking back a truck she gave to Robert for his 16th birthday. Carolyn claims the vehicle was never a gift.
Mr. Hammond, this is your former wife and your son that two of you share. According to what I read in your complaint, since your divorce, your son has spent time with both his mother and with you.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And sometime last year, when your son was living with his mother, he turned 16, according to your son, his mother gave him a truck. Is that right, sir?
Yes, that was actually earlier this year. Oh, that is right, Your Honor.
When did you turn 16?
June 20th of 2004.
And when did your mother give you the truck?
Well, I started driving the truck when I was about 15 and a half. When I got my driver's permit, she started letting me drive it with her and then with other adults just to learn how to drive vehicle. She basically physically gave me the truck on my 16th birthday. She was like, oh, happy birthday. This is your truck. Do what you want with it.
And that was June 20th of 2004.
That's correct.
When did you go to live with your father?
I moved in with my father September 4th of 2004.
Now, from June 20th, 2004 until September 4th, 2004, when you lived with your mom, did you drive the truck every day?
Yes.
Did your mother drive the truck?
Very rarely, because she has like 4 other vehicles. She has a brand new Dodge Ram.
Who else lived in your home with your mother?
It was just me, my mother, and my stepdad.
Now, when you went to live with your father on September 4th, you took the truck with you?
Yes.
And when did your mother take it back?
I think it was approximately September 27th.
Tell me about that.
Well, basically, I was living with my mom for a while, and then she started getting really frustrated because she was trying to buy a new house. And she got really stressed out, and she was like, you know, oh, maybe you should move in with your dad, this and that. So I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I'll look at it. So I ended up starting to talk to my dad, and I was talking to my different aunts. They were saying, yeah, you know, at this point in your life, you know, it's better to live with your father. But basically, you know, I was just really stressed out trying to deal with my senior year and then having my mom, you know, stressing me out because I wasn't able to work, and, like, I wasn't able to rely on her to give me money.
So you went to live with your father.
Yeah.
September 27th, she took the truck back. My question was, tell me about her taking the truck back.
Oh, basically, she came up to my school September 27th, and she came with the pink slip and everything because the truck was still in her name since I was under her custody. And she was like, so, do you want to give me the truck back? And I was like, no, because it's not really your truck.
When had she asked you for the truck before September 27th?
A few days before that, she had came over to my grandma's.
Tell me about it.
Okay, well, I was over at my grandma's. It was about September 25th.
Don't play with your paper, madam.
And she came over requesting the truck, and I was just in the middle of, like, helping out my grandma doing some work for her. Mom was just like, oh, give me back your truck, this and that. And she tried to, like, physically take it from me. I refused to give her the key.
Was that the first time she had asked you for the truck?
No, I think she had asked me on the phone once before that, but then I thought she had dropped it because I was just like...
Well, what did she say on the phone?
I don't remember her exact words, but basically she was like, oh, if you want to live with your dad, basically you need to pay for the truck. She was like, you can pay me in payments. She was just basically saying, oh, you need to pay me $5,000 for the vehicle.
And what did you say?
I said, that's not really realistic because the truck was given to me as a gift. Therefore, I invested money in it, and I didn't think I would have to pay you back for the truck that was already given to me. So I was like, no, I'm not going to pay you for a truck that you supposedly gave to me.
From June of 2004, when you got the truck, until September when you moved in with your father, had your mother ever made any statement to you that would indicate that she expected you to pay her for the truck?
No.
Never?
Never.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 16-year-old Robert Hammond III says his mother, Carolyn Hemstreet, took back a truck she gave him for his 16th birthday.
Now, when you moved in with your father in September, you made some modifications to the truck and you did some work on it?
Oh, no, I made the modifications while I was living with my mother. She had encouraged me to do the modifications because the truck, it was like a pink truck. And basically, I didn't feel comfortable driving around with a pink truck, you know what I mean?
You mean pink in color?
Yeah.
Okay, so you painted it and did whatever else?
Had it lowered, had rims put on it, you know.
I'll hear you.
Your Honor, I allowed my son to use the truck because we lived 8 miles south of town.
Did you ever say to him on his birthday, here's the truck?
No, I said, you're authorized to use the truck now that you have a license, because he was cited for driving the vehicle without a license, and he was speeding also.
So you're telling me on his birthday you said to him, you can now use the truck.
Well,
is that what you're telling me?
Well, he was using the truck against my better wishes prior to his 20th birthday.
16th birthday.
His 16th birthday. Well, he acts like a 20-year-old, excuse me.
Were you in favor of him moving in with his father?
No, Your Honor, I wasn't.
Why not?
Well, Robert had just recently been released from a group home where he was incarcerated for 2 years, and he had been with me approximately 3 or 4 months, and then he became uncontrollable again, and he was getting physical with me, pushing me around, and we were verbally assaulting each other, you know, cussing each other out, and he was getting really out of hand. But
what kind of work do you do, Mr. Hammond?
I work for the state of California. I'm an insurance claims representative.
Does your judgment of divorce provide for custody for your son?
Yes, I do have sole physical custody.
In the judgment of divorce?
Yes.
Is there an order of support?
Yes.
Your former wife is supposed to pay support for him?
Yes, there's several $1,000s in arrears that she has not paid.
Why is that?
Well, Your Honor, at the time, I've been disabled for approximately 16 years since Robert was an infant, and at the time...
What's the nature of your disability?
I'm a bipolar. I stressed out as a result of job-related stress working with the Sheriff's Department at a prison.
Has the order of support ever been lifted?
Yes, Your Honor. There was a time when I had sole physical custody of my Robert, which was just prior to him being with his father. And also, I owed his father child support, and he was also paying me child support.
How much do you owe him in child support?
Approximately, I figure I owe him about $15,000 in child support.
Do you have other children?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How many?
I have 2.
How old are they?
10 and 11.
Your disability didn't prevent you from having other children?
No, sir. I had the children shortly after I became disabled.
Can I see the pink slip for the truck, please?
Well, Your Honor, I don't physically have the pink slip because I did sell the vehicle. I sold it to an auto dealer for $1,800, which was below the Blue Book value.
Let me see.
This is a statement for the sales, and then also...
very silly lady, Miss Hemstreet.
Well, sir...
You are a very, very silly lady, madam.
Okay.
I don't believe this. That's not the way a dealership, whether it's a used car dealership or anything else, prepares a bill of sale. They put a VIN number on there, they put plate numbers on there. I don't buy this. This does not look, to me, like the kind of receipt somebody gives when they purchase a car if they're a corporation.
That is correct. I agree with you.
Well, okay. How much did you spend on the car?
A little bit over $2,000.
Miss Hemstreet, you are a very foolish woman. You have a son who's 16 years old, who maybe is putting his life back in order, maybe, maybe not. At least he appears to be getting along reasonably well with his father. It is clear to me that you at least led him to believe that this car was his on his 16th birthday, that he invested some money into it, into making it his, giving it lack of a pink tone, a more masculine tone, and doing whatever else he did with it. You owe $15,000 in child support. According to you, you sold this truck, if I believed you, for $1,800. Your relationship with your son is not worth $1,800.
No, but I felt compelled to do so because my son almost killed us in a truck once by stopping in traffic. And recently he was involved in another accident, a rear-ended. And so I felt like I didn't want to give my son a vehicle that might ultimately end his life.
You gave it to him already.
I gave it to him to use, Your Honor. But Robert, physically, he was aggressive, and he took the truck from me, him and his father.
No, you told me that you gave it to him. You said you gave it to him and told him.
I gave it to him to use because of where we lived.
Listen to me. She says she sold the truck for $1,800. I can't tell you whether she sold it for $1,800 or not. I don't think that she would know the truth if it came up and slapped her in the face. In any event, that's what she says, and I think that she had no right to sell a truck that she gave to you. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,800. That's all. Thank you.
Johnson versus Ishmael. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Bird, I'd like you to do me a favor. Since there is a potential for there being some serious yelling there by me, you can take these two children and see to it that they amuse themselves elsewhere.
Gotcha. Come this way.
Miss Johnson, according to the complaint that I've read, you rented a house.
An apartment unit.
Or an apartment unit in a little complex.
Yes.
Where the defendant also lived.
Yes.
The owner of that apartment unit is her mother.
Yes.
You, according to you, have the right to use the driveway because the driveway can only accommodate one car, and if a second car is pulled behind your car, you can't get out.
Yes.
So far, is that right?
Yes.
That the unit is rented to the plaintiff. She has the right to use the driveway.
I don't know what agreement they had.
Do you have an agreement?
Yes, I do have
I'd
an
like
agreement.
to see it, please.
That the agreement, the landlord gave her a copy of this. She has a
I'd like
copy
to
of
see
that.
it, please. So this is an agreement by your mother, who's the owner of the property.
Correct.
The owner of the property gives exclusive use of the driveway to Miss Johnson.
I have no knowledge of that agreement.
I don't believe you. In any event, you are bound by it.
Okay, can I ask you a question? If I don't know anything about it, how am I bound by it? Because I have no copy of that, no knowledge.
Listen to me. I find that you knew that you were not supposed to use the driveway. Don't speak.
Okay.
Just listen.
Okay.
I find that because even in your answer to her complaint, you say, I only left my car there for a minute while I was dropping off groceries. So you knew very well, because unless you don't speak to your mother.
Correct.
And if you didn't speak to your mother, she wouldn't let you live there. So I find that you knew exactly what is contained in this letter of agreement. You can say no from today till tomorrow. My job is to figure out who's telling the truth. And you don't want me to label you a liar before we even start, right?
Right. But
good. So I suggest you keep your mouth shut until I get to you.
No problem.
Were those your children?
Correct.
Which is why I put them out. According to your complaint, there have been ongoing problems with the defendant with regard to parking behind your car.
Yes.
When did they start?
It started in April of this year.
What happened this year that made this problem occur?
Well, when the contract was originally written in December, Adrian at the time was not included nor excluded because at the time she lived in the front house. She didn't have a car at the time, but when she had a car years ago, she parked her car in front of the house. So April 2005, she pulled her car up behind me and blocked me, and I have pictures.
When did she get a car?
I didn't even know that was her car. When I called her mother and said I'm blocked in, and she asked me to describe the car, she said, oh, that's Adrian's car. So I saw that same car parked on the curb, like in the street. I thought it was abandoned because it doesn't have a license plate on it and there's no VIN number.
I see the pictures.
So I had no idea that that was even her car. Her mother had to tell me it was her car, so I don't know. This is a picture of her car.
Prior to that, there had been no difficulty because she did, according to you, either didn't have a car. If she did, it was parked in the front of the house.
That's correct. At the time,
okay.
We were just not on speaking terms. But there were no problems with her parking the car back there because she always parked in the front.
Any reason why you weren't on speaking terms with her?
We've never gotten along since childhood, and
so you know each other for a long time.
Exactly. Our personalities are just very different. You know, we keep very different friends, and her ways have made me decide that she's not a person that I want to even hang around with.
Okay, so the first time was in April.
In April.
When was the next time?
The next time was on April 15th. She blocked me in for about 4 hours. I called the Department of Transportation and the police, and they called me on the phone to find out 4 hours later if the car had been moved. And by that time, she had driven off. The next time she blocked me in was on May 20th. She blocked me in for about an hour.
Did you ring her bell? Did you try to call her?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely did. I always, you know, I holler because our door, the way my door sits, is her backyard is my front yard. So I call her, or I have my daughter go knock on the door. I don't have her phone number, and she wouldn't let me out. She'd be like, I'll move my car whenever I want to. So on the 29th, when she blocked me in, her mother was out of town, and I was getting ready to go to work. She pulled up behind me, blocked me in. So I said, Adrian, you need to move your car. I have to go to work. I'll move whenever I want to move. So she walked into the house, and I'm like, no, what am I going to do? The police called me 4 hours later. They never showed up. So I figured the best way to get her to move her car is to make her feel like a caged rat. I closed the gate, here's a picture of the gate. I closed the gate and locked it. Immediately, she came running outside. Instead of coming to my door and saying, I'm ready to move my car now, she bagged up and rammed the gate and ran it down. I called her mother and said, Annie, I called the police. They came within 30 minutes. I said, Annie Mae, Adrian ran your gate down because I locked her in because she would not move her car so I can go to work. And they came out. Here's a police report and made an incident.
Can I see it, please?
This is the police report. It's the letter. The police report. It's the letter from
All right, that's May 29th. Let me look at the police report.
Okay.
Her mother signed this report.
That's correct.
Okay, so your mother signed this report against you.
Yeah, because they said I couldn't make the report. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
So after that, on June 6th, I was coming home from work, 7:30 in the morning, hear a car pull up, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Adrian. I have to leave out here in an hour to go to my exercise class. So I hollered out the window, you better move your MF car. And she ain't moving nothing, you know. So she went on the house, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do? Because I'm not going to miss I lost 60 pounds, I'm exercising, I'm not going to miss my class. So I decided the best way to move her car was to bag it out. And I bagged her car out into the street where it turned into the curb. She got upset, came out of the house. Oh, you done did it now, you B.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You are lying to me because any sensible person...
But you don't know me to say that.
Whoa, I know you. No. I know exactly who you are. Get your hand off your hip. There's only one attitude here. That's mine.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lynette Johnson says her cousin, Adrian Ishmael, damaged her car and her driveway gate. Adrian says Lynette pushed her car into the middle of the street.
So you pushed her car out?
I did.
With your car?
With my car. And so she got upset. I saw her, she jumped in her car, got her key, she came around, and I saw her coming, so I quickly closed the gate, I locked it, and she rammed the gate into my car. And that's where I have the damages right here.
Can I see it?
And her landlord kept telling her, you don't have any business there. The police come out, here's the police report. You have no business being there. You can't explain why you're there.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
Okay, first of all, that's a total lie.
Let's start with 2 days that I'm interested in.
Okay.
The first one is May 29th, when your mother signed a police complaint against you.
I agree. I admitted to the vandalism. I did do that.
Okay. Why did you park your car behind her car, fully knowing that you were really rendering her unable to move because your car was there?
Because that's not the truth. First of all, can I explain my story? I usually do park in the front of my house. I was getting my house painted. The painters messed up my front door. I couldn't gain access to my house through the front anymore. So I had to go through the back door to gain access to the house. That's the only reason I was parking in the driveway.
Just a second. Let me understand this, Miss Ishmael. Because the painters were working on your house and you had to use the back door, you couldn't park in the front and walk to the back. You had to drive. I'm speaking. You had to drive your car there. How far is it from the front door to the back door?
But that day was right before a holiday, and I had bought a lot of groceries. I mean, a whole lot, because I was having a barbecue the next day. And the only thing I was parking in the driveway for was to unload the groceries into the house. And that was the day I rammed the gate. And Lynette is not being...
Just a second. Now let's get to June 6th. There was no holiday, no barbecue.
Right.
So what were you doing parking behind her car again?
Just unloading groceries.
You already had a major problem a week before. What were you parking there for?
Because, like I said before, I did not have a copy of any agreement. You said you don't believe me, but I have no reason to lie. I had no account of that. That agreement was not between me
Miss
and...
Ishmael, let me explain something to you, madam. Your mother signed a complaint against you.
No, she did not. No, she did not. That was...
No. You listen to me.
Okay.
Your mother signed a complaint of vandalism on the 29th of May. And what you're asking me to believe is you had no communication with your mother.
Correct. That's the truth.
Listen to me. I don't believe you. You are lying to me because any sensible person...
But you don't know me to say that.
Whoa, I know you.
No.
I know exactly who you are. You are somebody who is a passive, aggressive person.
That's not true. That's not true. You don't know me to say
Fortunately, madam, I went to college. I went to law school. I passed the bar. I was appointed a judge 3 times.
That's great.
So I'm the only one that gets to make the decisions. When you're sitting here, you can make the decision. So I decided that when common sense suggests to me that somebody is lying, I'm willing to go with common sense. And common sense indicates to me that when you're living in a house and you know that only one car can gain egress or ingress from one space, and you choose time after time after time to block this lady's car in, that you have a passive, aggressive personality.
But
and if you are, I'm speaking.
Okay.
And if you are living at a premises that's owned by your mother, who happens to have your last name, and your mother is privy to an agreement between this lady and other tenants, that unless you and your mother, you're living on Saturn and your mother is living on Pluto, then your mother said to you, don't park in the driveway. Not to unload groceries, not to unload your kids, not to unload your temper, not to unload your temper. I don't believe you. Can I see the estimates now?
That's why I'm saying you're not giving me a right to prove my case. That's unfair. This is not fair.
Life, madam, I want you to understand something. Life sometimes is not fair. Go ahead.
She parked my car in the middle of the street and endangering the lives of
You're absolutely right. She had no right to push your car into the street. Now I want you to show me what damage was caused to your car as a result of being pushed into the streets and the estimates for its repair.
There was no damage because I got my car out the middle of the street.
Right. There was no damage.
I'm not claiming damage. All I'm saying is that what she's accusing me of is not true because you have not given me a chance to state my case. You have not given me the equal time to...
Listen to me, madam. My time is more valuable than your baloney. What you did time after time was to block this lady's car in, and I can imagine the frustration. Everybody who drives a car who's been in a situation where they've parked a car and somebody blocks them in and says, I'm just going in for a pack of cigarettes. I'm just going in to pick up a quart of milk. I'll be out. And they say, come on, could you move your car? Get your hand off your hip. There's only one attitude here. That's mine.
I don't have an attitude. So I'm saying that because my back is hurting, ma'am.
Well, that's too bad. Try to keep your back in check until this case is over.
That's
good. Very good. And maybe it hurt from carrying all those groceries. Listen to me. Everybody who's driven a car knows what it's like when somebody behaves disrespectfully with no clue as to other people's time. That's you. Maybe if you had some more to do, you would think about other...
True.
Who do you work for?
I'm a chef at a fish market.
How many days... I'm speaking. How many days a week do you work?
I work 6 days a week.
Did you file tax returns this year?
Yes, I did.
How much did you earn on your tax returns that you filed in April?
$14,000.
You know, you're making it up as you're going along.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $827. That's all. That's to fix your car.
Judge Judy.
That's it.
What about the days leave?
That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Misery Love Company, and she's very upset that she couldn't pull me into the sandbox.
This didn't just start. Since she was a child, she's been crazy.
She's a jealous, envious person.
You tried living in front of a psycho. Anthony Perkins, watch out. It's a new psycho in town. I'm very happy. Thank you, Judge Judy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Childress versus Reese. Step forward.
26-year-old Ciara Childress is suing her ex-boyfriend, Casey Reese, for kicking her car. Casey claims Ciara punched him in the mouth.
Miss Childress, Mr. Reese and you have a child together, but you are no longer in a relationship. According to your complaint, Mr. Reese vandalized your car by kicking it. Mr. Reese does not deny that he kicked your car. And he said he kicked your car instead of kicking you. Close.
Exactly.
So, When did this incident occur?
It was on May 2nd.
Where?
In front of he has 2 other kids. It was in front of his kid's mother's house.
So you went there?
Yes.
Had you told him you were coming?
Yes.
When?
About maybe 15 minutes earlier, I was coming to get a cell phone from him.
What happened when you got there?
He came outside, and we were arguing. We had been arguing.
Why were you arguing?
Just different things.
You want to tell me?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what happened. Sierra came over to get the phone.
Why did you have her phone?
Actually, it's my phone, but you know, she does pay the bill.
Just a minute. Why does she pay the bill?
Oh, for her to keep in touch with.
Why do you want to keep in touch with him?
Because of my son, but I don't do that anymore.
Okay. So you're coming to get the phone and you were annoyed.
Right. Because basically...
Keep going.
He doesn't do anything. I was bothered. I was trying to get my child support, different issues that not consistent with getting my child support. He had disrespected me. I think at that time he was speaking with somebody on the phone in front of me, on my phone, and I had hit him. He hit me back.
You mean on this date?
Yes.
On May 2nd, you hit him?
Yes. And he hit me back.
No, I hit your car.
He hit me back.
Well, you had no right to hit him.
You're right.
What did you expect him to do?
I don't
Just
know.
suck it up?
I guess so.
Well, you're wrong.
Apparently.
Apparently. You think you're going to hear from my mouth, you're not supposed to hit a woman? Not from my mouth. You hit him, and he's allowed to defend himself. Okay, Mr. Reese, so she hit you. Where did she hit you?
In the face.
And what did you do?
See, what happened was when she hit me, she raised up the window, so I kicked the car.
We were outside.
I was outside.
We
She
were
was sitting in the
outside.
car.
How'd I hit you in the car? We were outside.
Easily,
I
the
slapped
window
him.
down.
He punched me in my arm. He ran into the house. He came back out talking about his lip something. Came out, kicked in my car 3 times.
What do you mean talking about his lip?
His lip, apparently, I hit him in the mouth. Apparently his lip was whatever. I had a bruise on my arm.
I don't care about your arm.
Okay.
I don't care about your arm. Okay. I care about your lip. Was your lip bleeding?
Yes.
Because it wasn't a slap, because he must have punched you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
And let me see the damage to your car.
I did not punch him. I slapped him.
Well, you may have slapped him, but you slapped him hard enough to make his lip bloody. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Where were you when he kicked the car?
I was inside my vehicle calling the police.
Why were you calling the police if you assaulted him?
He punched me back. Does that make 2 wrongs make a right? He punched me back and kicked in my vehicle.
But this makes me feel better. You have no right to put your hands on somebody else. And if by putting your hands on Mr. Reese, his reaction was to kick your car, which is really what you're saying, right?
After he punched me.
And I'm telling you, A, I don't believe he punched you, and B, if he did, you took a picture of your car, not your bruised arm. So evidently this was more important to you than your bruised arm.
Actually, it wasn't, because I went and got a restraining order the next day against him, so it couldn't have been.
Well, I want to tell you something. I wouldn't have given you a restraining order.
Related.
If I were the judge sitting there, I wouldn't have given you a restraining order. I would have showed you the door. You started it. You started it. You started the problem. First, you wanted to control him by giving him a cell phone so you could keep in touch with him over your son, which is a lot of baloney. And second, you put your hands on him because you went over there, and you went over there annoyed. You went over there looking for a fight. You got a fight, and you ended up with a dented car. Pay for it. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Felicia versus Cass.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Felicia, the defendant was your landlady for approximately 6 months, and according to your complaint, she had you falsely arrested for both assault and menacing in September 2007. So you want to be compensated for your bail and the time you spent in jail. Ms. Cass says that you were, in fact, high on drugs, that she had every right to call the police because you behaved in a threatening manner, which she will describe to me. Describe this arrangement. Was it a house, an apartment building?
She lived in a trailer, and I had just gotten a position at a Key Largo elementary school as a commercial electrician, and I needed somewhere to stay. So she rented me her screened-in porch for $400 a month.
On what date did you move into Miss Cass's screened-in porch?
Around January of '07.
How did you find the screened-in porch?
She had an ad in the paper for $400 a month.
What did the ad say, if you remember?
I think it said room for rent, $400.
Did it have a bathroom?
I had privileges to the kitchen and the bathroom inside the trailer, so I would sleep outside in the screened-in porch. And whenever I needed to use the utilities, I would go inside, no problem.
And there was one bathroom in the trailer.
Yes, there was.
Who else lived in the trailer?
Her by herself and her 3 dogs.
How do you support yourself, Miss Cass?
I have a pet sitting business called Precious Care Pet Sitting.
You mean you take care of them in your trailer?
No, I go to people's houses when they go out of town and take care of their pets.
That pays the bills?
Well, once in a while I had to add a roommate to help, but during the summertime it's slow, so I needed a roommate to help pay the bills.
So why don't you tell me, Miss Cass, how it came about that you had the plaintiff arrested?
Okay, Friday he came home and he was really happy that he didn't use any cocaine because he was starting a new job on Tuesday.
Let's start again. Friday was what date?
It was the Labor Day weekend, the Friday of Labor Day weekend. I'm thinking September 1st.
Of 07?
Yes, ma'am.
He came home and told you?
He didn't use cocaine. He was at a party and he was all excited because he was supposed to start a new job on Tuesday. He was unemployed. On Saturday, I woke up, he was gone. I didn't really keep track of where he was coming and going, and I get a call at 10 o'clock at night. He's all jacked up, stating that he found a real house, and he was really excited that he was moving out and not to be mad at him, that he'd be by later to get his things.
Had he ever used drugs when he lived in your house?
Not that I was aware of, Your Honor.
Okay. Did he come by that day?
Yes, ma'am. He came by at 3 o'clock in the morning. He was all wild-eyed and all hyper, and he kept saying, "Don't be mad at me, Mommy. Don't be mad at me, Mommy." But I got a real house with a bathroom, and he was all excited. And I said, "No problem. I don't mind." And I asked if he did use drugs, and he admitted it. And I also have it in the deposition that he took that he admitted it.
And
in the
what
deposition, this case was originally a civil case. So 3 months ago, he took a deposition and admitted that he did admit to me that he did cocaine.
I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am. And I also have his police report, his background, that he's been arrested for cocaine and trespassing
I'd
charges.
like to see the deposition first. Did you sue her?
Yes, I filed a suit for restitution, punitive damages, wages lost. I was in jail during my birthday. She put me in jail during my birthday.
And what happened with that case?
I turned it into a small claims because we couldn't come to a resolution in the civil.
Your Honor, his lawyers walked out in the middle of the deposition and made a motion to withdraw.
The lawyers withdrew from representing you?
Yes. May I add, because her lawyer was filing motions and injunctions and just making the whole thing harder than it really was.
What did you expect her to do, roll over?
Well, that's true, you know. But I just wanted her to admit that what she did was a lie.
Were you using drugs that night in September, sir?
No, not that night. Maybe the night that I left.
The night that you left?
The night that I left, yeah.
Yes.
But when I came to the property to get my property, no.
That night, the night that you left, were you using drugs?
Yes.
What kind?
Coke and marijuana.
Where'd you get it from?
One of her social friends.
One of her friends?
One of her known friends. I didn't know him.
It wasn't my friend.
I knew him through her because I didn't know nobody. I just got in town to work.
He knew from an old roommate.
Okay, so the night that you left, you came home 3 o'clock in the morning to get your stuff. Where were you going to live?
At where they offered me another place.
They offered you another apartment. Who's they?
Her mutual friend, Augusta.
So she offered you what kind of a place to live?
A room, indoors.
And you decided to take that?
Well, I decided to give her a notice that I was planning to move.
Okay, so you called her at 10 o'clock.
So look, they offered me this place. I think I'm gonna find a move.
And then you came home at 3 o'clock.
To get his stuff.
That's what you said to me. You came home at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, when did you come home? You called her?
At night, that 10 o'clock that she's talking about. That's when she had all my stuff in the porch.
No, first you had to call her, sir. Otherwise, she wouldn't have known that you were moving, right?
Right.
So first you called her.
Yeah, I called her and told her I was planning to move. But then later on, at 3 o'clock you're talking about, I came maybe to get a toothbrush or something. But it wasn't to get my stuff and leave.
He came to get...
Okay. Shh. I don't know whether it is or whether it isn't. Whether he came to get his stuff or he came to get his toothbrush. Whatever it was. He was high. He came home to get his toothbrush. You had already packed up all of his things when he called you at 10 o'clock, you said, and put his stuff on the porch.
The next day, Your Honor. The next night.
What happened when he came home at 3 o'clock?
When he came home at 3 o'clock on Saturday night, he was just all wired and telling me not to be sorry, and he went in the bathroom and cleared all his personal items out, told me he was getting some of his clothes and he'd be back Sunday to get the rest of his stuff.
Fine. And then what did you do?
I just went back to sleep, and then Sunday, Augusta came over crying at 12 o'clock, begging me to take him back.
He did?
The girl. The girl that he moved in with.
Planning to move in with.
So you didn't move in with her?
No, I planned to move.
What happened with Augusta?
Well, when I told her that I was planning to move, and then I went back to get my toothbrush or bathroom belongings, like she said, she had my things on the porch.
What happened with the other girl?
So when I went to get to the property, she called the cops. The cops came, They said, you can't do that to him. He has tenants' rights. You have to go to the eviction process.
So you have
so
to
they
go
told
through
me
the
for the
process.
night. They told me for the night, see if you can go somewhere, let the heat cool down. All right, no problem. I go to Augusta's house. And she followed.
Just a second. When you went to Augusta's house, were you high?
No.
When did you get high?
Probably the night before, because I was there maybe 2 nights.
Go ahead.
And then they told me to go somewhere for the night. I said, all right, I think I'm going to go to the lady that offered me the place. So I go to Augusta's and say, look, this lady's causing me some drama over there. Can I spend the night over here? She followed me to that house after she wrote on the police report that she was terrified for her life. Even the police officer told me himself, well, if she's so scared, why she followed you? Lies, more lies than false, whatever she did. So when she showed up at Augusta's house, she said, this lady's over here causing you problems, stirring up trouble. I can't deal with this. So I went back to her property, spend the night, no problem. Morning came.
Even though the police told you not to go?
Yeah, they told me if that doesn't work out, though, you have no choice. Come back, no problem.
They didn't tell that to you at all.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Edgar Felicia says his former landlord, Karen Cass, owes for falsely charging him with assault and battery. Karen claims Edgar broke into her home and attacked her.
Police don't say that.
No, they know because...
Police don't say that. They say you better let things cool off for a night and come back tomorrow.
That's true, but if you don't have no other place to go...
They didn't say that to you.
Well, due respect, I was there.
No, I'm telling you. I've been around a block longer than you've been born. The police never told you should come back if it didn't work out with Augusta.
They told me to find somewhere else to stay for the night.
That's right. That's what they told you.
And if that didn't go well, to come back, okay, no problem.
Oh.
So I come back, and I sleep. I'm just telling you what they told me. I mean, you know what I mean? So I go to sleep, and I wake up the next morning late to work. I got fired because there's drama with her. I go to Publix to get me a little Aunt Jemima breakfast. And right when I'm coming in, when I'm coming into the trailer to open the door, she had it with the chain. Boom. That's when I started recording, which I have here the recording what she's talking about that I came in the house. And the whole recording shows I didn't even get through that door.
How did you record that?
On my camera phone. I had a camcorder on my phone. I said that was the only option I had. I had no witnesses around me. I already seen where this was going to go.
So why did you go back there?
What, that morning?
Yeah.
Because that's where I lived. That's where I lived. They told me, if you can't find nowhere to go, just go back. And when I went to work, I came home. She had all this locked up in the house.
So what did you do?
So then I just started recording. And she's on the phone talking to her boyfriend. Turns out her boyfriend called the cops. The cops come. When the cops come, they tell her, so what happened? She's saying, oh, I was banging in the door, whatever. And I've seen my mom get beat for 15 years, and I'd be darned I would put my hands on a woman. Sure, I have drug-related cases in my past, but I have never had anything violent. I mean, I weigh 150 pounds soaking wet. I'm not a threat to nobody, you know? And for her to accuse me of something that I did not do, and my dad had to send me bail money from New York. I spent my birthday in jail. I lost my job, and to add...
Do you think that none of that had to do with the fact that you were using cocaine?
Nah, because that was like 2 days before.
Listen to me. If you used cocaine 2 days before, you used it 2 days before that, and 2 days before that.
Nah.
So you just used it once in anticipation of your birthday? Is that what you're telling me?
It was a get-together at her friend's house, so, I mean, they had it there, and it was just a little social, so we did it. So then later on, when I went back to the house, that's when she had all my stuff
How many times
back.
have you been arrested for possession of drugs? I don't want to say.
I believe twice.
Background check.
99 and 04.
Could it have been more than twice?
Not that I remember. Shouldn't be.
Well, you would know how many times you were arrested for drugs.
Twice. 99 and 04.
Now I'll take a look at the rap sheet.
7 times.
Thank you. Well, here's the 99 possession. They stop you on traffic violations, right?
Like tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple tickets.
Charge 1 was a non-moving traffic violation, but charge 2 was cocaine possession on the same date. That was 2004.
Yeah, that was, a matter of fact, Christmas Eve, I believe.
Right. You had an arrest in 2005.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what's
Pled
it
guilty?
for? And as you're looking at the report, I know you don't see anything violent in there.
Nothing violent. I see a trespass only.
Right. So that's not, it's out of my character. Besides the fact I seen my mom get beat all my life, so.
I'd like to see your film. And then I'd like to see your complaint. The complaint that you lodged against him.
Oh, yeah, I have it right here, man.
That's the porch there. This is the morning I'm coming back from Publix. Boom, there's a chain.
What are you doing? I can can come in the house. I have keys to the house. Don't start when you use the microwave.
You're allowed in the house. I told you you're only staying on the porch.
No, how about you use the bathroom, lady?
You're not.
Take a shower, lady.
You're not supposed to be in the bathroom. They said
I'm not supposed to be in the bathroom?
on the porch, Edgar.
That's last night for you guys.
Get the out of my face.
I can't just stay on the porch. I got keys to the trailer, lady. You can't just put a chain on it and me not take a shower.
You're not allowed in this
Well,
house.
then you gotta put something in there for me to cook it and blanket myself in bath. No, whatever. I just went. Bro, that was just for last night.
Oh, and did they tell you just for last night?
Yes, I asked her, because I told her, look at the chain she put. Now, what am I supposed to do? She goes, well, just go outside of anything for tonight, but tomorrow's okay. They never said I'm supposed to be in the house, you dimwit. They never said you're supposed to be in the house. I can come in the house and use the utilities, I'm supposed to. Then why am I paying you rent for? You know what I mean? Do you want me to call so I can use the microwave over here? I'll call him, don't worry about it, I got the number.
It was only part of the tape. He did get in the house.
How did he get in the house?
He broke the chain. It's on the police report, Your Honor.
You did swear under oath, right? Yeah.
I hit speed dial on my boyfriend's phone because I was hysterical, and my boyfriend called the cops. It's a very small town. The next thing I knew, there were 4 cops. What he's not telling you is the night before, he had pushed me and tore the phone out of the wall, which he admits in the deposition and in the police report.
Can I see the police report,
ma'am.
please?
There were 2 incidences before that.
No, let me see the police report. Would you please, I must be missing it, would you give this back to Ms. Cass? Would you please show me where he admits that he pulled the phone out of the wall?
Yeah, it's in the...
Just show me, you say that in the police report he admitted that he tore the phone out of the wall. Show me in the police report where he admits tearing the phone out of the wall. That would be a violent act, would it not, Mr. Felice? Ripping the phone out of the wall would be a violent act.
Yes, ripping the phone off the wall.
Okay, and you...
But unplugging a charger would not. There was no ripping. Unplugged.
Shh. Well, whether you pulled the phone out of the wall, sir, or you pulled the charger out of the wall so that she could not get to the police is irrelevant. Either way, your purpose was to prevent her from calling the police.
My purpose? Well, they came over that night.
Your purpose was to prevent her from calling the police. Otherwise, would you kindly tell me what was the reason that you pulled the charger out of the wall? Were you trying to bake pancakes?
No, I was trying to give her a second to think about what she was doing.
You were trying to prevent her from calling the police.
To make a false report, yes. Because everything she did after that was false. She said I tried to kick in the door. She said I cornered it in the room. I mean...
It's over. You're not going to win the lottery here.
Nah.
It's finished.
I'm not looking for the lottery.
It's finished. First of all, you are not allowed to rent the porch on your trailer. It is an illegal thing that you're doing. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that? And you can't take money from him and then decide that he's too much trouble. Too much trouble right in the middle of his month. Because he paid you by the month or by the week?
He paid me by the week, and he was advertised as a roommate.
If he's a roommate, then he has kitchen privileges.
Correct, but that night the police said to stay out of the house until I went to the state's attorney's office the next day, which I got.
No, they gave him a cooling off night. That's what they do. They give him a cooling off night. The police do not have the power to evict him. They have the power to say to somebody when they get a call of alleged domestic violence, look, I don't see anything terrible going on here. Go take a walk. Cool off tonight. Things will look better in the morning. That's what the police will do. You do not have the right, after taking money from him, to lock him out. When you say he's a roommate, you didn't even...
Ma'am, there's no locks on the door. He was never locked out.
Well, he was locked out because there was a chain on the door.
That's my house, but they told me until we go to the state's attorney's office in the morning, I have an injunction, a restraining order. They said till I go to the state's attorney's office at 9 in the morning, he's not allowed.
Are you telling me that you got a restraining order between the time he left the night before and the time he came back in the morning? Of course not. You didn't. It's over. Move on with it. You did, in fact, commit a violent act. You prevented her from calling the police, which is what she wanted to do because she felt threatened. And you prevented her from calling the police by pulling her phone charger. Evidently, she doesn't have a phone that actually plugs in. She uses a portable phone that's charged into the wall. It's over. Forget about it. Finished. Both of you. Now that it's in my hands, you've filed a civil case, you had a lawyer, you had a lawyer, you all both spent all kinds of money. Finished. It's over. Forget it.
That's what I've been, I mean, this has been a year and something.
It's been a year. Your case is dismissed.
It's
been a year.
$4,000 in attorney fees.
I don't care. It's over. Finished. You both behaved inappropriately. He did, and you did, because there was probably a little bit of what he said that was true. That you wanted him out, that you exaggerated a little bit once it became testy. There's no question in my mind, Ms. Cass, that that's what you did. But he provoked it. He can't come home high on cocaine. He doesn't even know what he's doing if he's high on cocaine. Do you understand, sir? Goodbye.
I wasn't high when I came home.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat.
Ms. Holderbaum, Mr. Gutierrez is the cousin of your ex-husband.
Yes, ma'am.
And at some point, I don't know whether you were still married to your husband at the time. I assume you were. Is that right?
Yes, I was.
You co-signed a car loan, a lease, for Mr. Gutierrez.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
And then something happened. You took the car back. And it ended up costing you a bundle for the lease. You want Mr. Gutierrez to be responsible. Mr. Gutierrez says, because of the way this all came down, it's your problem. When were you and your husband divorced?
Our divorce...
Or separated?
We separated in February of 06.
And when did you co-sign this car lease for Mr. Gutierrez?
September of 04.
Why didn't your husband co-sign for him? It's his cousin.
My husband told me it wasn't a good idea. I basically looked at it as he was a young man, a hard worker.
Your husband, who was his cousin, known him his whole life, said to you, "Don't do it, Shelley. It's not a good idea." And you want to know something? I would have told you the same thing.
I know, Your Honor.
Okay. So you co-signed this car lease for him. What kind of car did he lease?
Ford Expedition.
What did he need a Ford Expedition for?
For him and his family.
How large is your family?
I have my wife and one son.
You could drive a smart car with your wife and one son. What'd you need a Ford Expedition for?
Well, first of all, when they came out, I would like to have a Ford Expedition.
I would like to be 5'6". It didn't happen to me.
The thing is, sometimes I take my trucks to work, and I need more seats because I got like sometimes 3 to 4 helpers.
What happened to the truck that she co-signed for you?
Well, I had an accident.
Tell me about the accident.
Well, in Detroit, Michigan, where we live, it snows.
Just tell me, it was in the snow?
Yeah, it was snow.
What did you hit?
I hit a post on the sidewalk.
A post?
Yeah.
Post wasn't moving, right?
No.
So what happened to the car?
It didn't start back. So I called Shelly and told her what happened that day. And she just told me, I got to call the police to make the report. So she was going to call the insurance, and she will call me back.
What happened, Shelly?
Well, he hit a light pole, you know, no fault. He called me. I told him, as long as you're not hurt, nobody's not hurt, that's great. Even though I co-signed, I carried the insurance on the vehicle because I was afraid. If he didn't make a payment, I would find out about that in 30 days. If he didn't pay the insurance when something like this happened,
gotcha,
I would have been up.
Gotcha, Shelley.
So what happened was, it went to the body shop. They towed it directly to the body shop to the tune of $9,000 worth of damage, which wasn't even the problem, Your Honor. I had no problem. That's why they call them accidents. But while the vehicle was in the body shop, I received a certified letter from the DEA stating that Mr. Gutierrez was stopped in St. Louis, Missouri on January 19th with $309,900 in the vehicle. That's why he couldn't have the truck back.
So they were telling you that they were seizing the car?
No, they had given the vehicle back to him on site. They seized the money. They gave the vehicle back and released him.
What was $309,900 doing in your Ford Expedition?
I don't know.
Hidden in panels. It was just not in a duffel bag, Your Honor. It was hidden in compartments in the vehicle. So they basically ripped the truck apart, the whole interior, like plastic parts in the thing. The front console was ripped apart. Well, when I received that letter, Ford Motor Credit received the same letter.
Just a second. How many cars have you owned in your life? Give me an approximate number.
8.
I can't believe you're so much younger than I am. Probably owned 30 cars in my life. Aside from an occasional quarter, that you may find, you know, when you're cleaning out your car. What would you do if you found $309,900 stashed in your car in various compartments? Would you have thought that the tooth fairy really existed? Mr. Gutierrez, did you really like this truck? You said you really wanted this truck, right?
Right.
And you used it for your family?
Yes.
And you used it for your work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do? Don't look down.
Carpet
Look at me.
installer.
What?
Carpet installer.
Carpet installer.
Yes.
You do the work yourself?
Well, I have helpers.
That help you?
Yeah.
You go on the jobs with them?
Yes, ma'am.
You go on all the jobs with them?
Yeah.
So I assume if you have helpers, Mr. Gutierrez, you put them in the back of the car. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you drive?
Yes, I drive.
And when you go out with your wife, does she drive?
No, I always drive.
So when do you think someone snuck this $300,000 into your car, Mr. Gutierrez?
Well, I'm not sure, ma'am.
Your Honor, and when he had the accident in February, less than 5 months, he had put 11,690 miles on that truck. And when I had called Mr. Gutierrez, because this was before I even knew about this happening, I called him, I said, you're only allowed at $12,000 a year. What were you going to do about all these miles? Because after $12,000, you're over for the year. He says to me, well, I was going to have somebody roll them back. I almost fell out. I said, you know,
The same person that put the $309,000 in his car.
He said, and I'm like, I'm a police officer. What are you talking about?
You're a police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
Still a police officer?
Yes, ma'am. I have an exemplary, never been disciplined record.
Oh, Shelley.
I know, Your Honor.
Shelley.
2.5 years of nightmare I've been living this to help somebody.
He's a nightmare.
I know, Your Honor.
Where did you travel, sir, in the first few months that you had this? Listen to me very carefully. Where did you travel, Mr. Gutierrez, in the first few months that you had this car while you were busy with your wife and your son and installing carpet to put 12,000 miles on it in 4 months?
It was almost 12,000 miles.
Where had you traveled, Mr. Gutierrez?
I went once. I went to El Paso, Texas.
El Paso?
And
from where?
From Detroit, Michigan.
From Detroit, Michigan to El Paso, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
Probably where they stuck all this money in your car.
No, ma'am. And when I use it for work, just to go from my house to the shop where I pick up the material, it's 30 miles.
Detroit to El Paso is how many miles, Mr. Gutierrez?
It's 1,100 miles.
One way?
Yeah, one way.
And how long did you stay in El Paso?
I stayed like for 4 days.
Who did you go with?
With my grandma.
With your grandma?
Yeah.
What's her name? It's not an answer when I ask you your grandma's name.
Ramos.
How old is she?
She just turned 80.
What did you take her to El Paso for 1,100 miles in a truck?
She lives in Juarez. It's the border with El Paso, Texas. And I went there to visit my family.
You said you took your grandmother in the truck.
No, I didn't took her.
So you drove there by yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I drive from...
You see stupid written over here, Mr. Gutierrez.
No, ma'am, no.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Somebody was doing something naughty in this vehicle, like transporting drugs in the car. Now, I'm not suggesting that someone would be you, sir. I'm not suggesting that at all.
And later today...
Mr. Courier says, I'm cute. Aside from saying I'm cute, you thought he was cute and nice.
Yeah.
He is, yeah. It's just a mooch.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shelley Holderbaum says her ex-husband's cousin, Vicente Gutierrez, crashed a Ford Expedition that was leased in her name. Shelley says the vehicle was eventually seized by the DEA.
How much did it cost you because of the over mileage and because of ripping the car apart?
$1,272.21 for the over mileage. The deductible on his accident was $350. The repair for the broken parts inside the vehicle was $715.50. I also had to pay for the pole he hit in the city because the city waited till after 6 months to bill it. I have that right there.
How much?
So the insurance wouldn't pay that. That was $399.49. I had to make April and May's payment on the vehicle while I was in the body shop.
How much?
$500.35 for each month.
I gave her that payment.
He paid February, Your Honor.
How many payments did you make?
My ex-husband made March, and I made April and May.
You made April and May?
Yes,
What
ma'am.
payment did you make?
The last payment was February, and I paid
She
her.
paid March and April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And May.
And I paid her for the pole that I hit, and I paid her all of the 2 deductibles for the insurance.
You paid those. Do you have checks for that?
No.
Did he pay you
I
for
do.
that?
I have my checks.
No, did
for
he
those.
pay you
no,
back
he
for
did
that?
not, Your Honor.
Maximum in your state is $3,000. Is
Yes,
that right?
ma'am.
Because this comes to $3,271. Mr. Gutierrez, either you're the luckiest or the unluckiest person on this planet. The luckiest person on the planet would find $300,000 in their car. That would be the luckiest person in the planet. The unluckiest person in the planet would have $300,000 in their car and not be able to get it. So if you think that I believe the story that you're telling me, I don't. Somebody did something nice for you. Somebody who has a career in law enforcement. Somebody who could be humiliated. If somebody was doing something naughty in this vehicle, like transporting drugs in the car, a car that she co-signed for. Now, I'm not suggesting that that someone would be you, sir. I'm not suggesting that at all. The fact that I never found more than maybe 75 cents in a car that I've owned would not necessarily be dispositive in this case. But you cost her a bundle. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused when they step out.
I was on my way to El Paso, and the police stopped me.
Well, I kind of feel like I got some justice in this manner
And they found that money in there.
by getting my money back.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Capozola versus Courier, step forward.
21-year-old Kristen Capozola is suing her former roommate, 22-year-old Joshua Courier, for rent, a broken computer, and the cost of pay-per-view adult movies.
You know, I decided that we could save the judicial system a whole bunch of money and just have much smaller apartments that were cheaper, that people could have themselves so they don't have to have roommates. And we would be able to save as a community fortunes of money because we wouldn't have all these cases. Then I would, however, be out of a job, and my children would be very unhappy. Ms. Capozola, the defendant used to be your roommate. You claim he owes you some money. He owes you money for rent and utility bills, and he damaged your computer, and he downloaded porn on your computer, and it was very messy. Mr. Courier says, I'm cute. Aside from saying I'm cute, he says, well, he sort of ran into some difficulty, and he's going to explain it all to me. This is the girlfriend?
That's a friend.
This is the girlfriend that downloaded the porn on the computer.
Nah.
What do you do, Mr. Courier?
Cell phones.
Cell phones for whom?
T-Mobile.
How long have you been working for them?
Like 2 months.
How much do you make at T-Mobile?
It's hourly, like $8 or $9 an hour.
You take home a paycheck every couple of weeks. How much is your paycheck?
Roughly $8.50.
And who do you live with?
I live by myself.
What is this? I mean, is that a question or is that a
I
statement?
live by myself.
And how much rent do you pay?
It's $6.50.
You have a car?
No.
Have any other big expenses?
No.
Great. So you would say you're on your feet financially.
Yes.
Great. That's really good. Because one of the things that Ms. Capozola says is that you told her you would pay her back for covering your rent when you got on your feet.
Yes.
She's got to back into it, that's all. You know, you can't get on there right in the front. Right in the front's boring. You got to back into it.
There you go.
Right?
That's right.
All right, Ms. Capozola, when did you start to room with, and it was just a roommate, is that right?
Yes.
Just a roommate. The charming Mr. Courier.
October of 2006, he contacted me looking for a place to stay. I offered mine and my mother's home, with her permission, of course. We lived together there for approximately 3 weeks and then signed a lease in mid-November to move out.
How long had you known him?
About 3 years.
From where?
We met at a party.
You thought he was cute and nice?
Yeah.
He is, yeah. He's just a mooch. Yeah.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Yes, sir. Now, who rented the porn?
My ex-girlfriend.
And did she watch this all by herself?
Yes, I had no recollection that she was watching it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kristen Capozola says ex-roommate Joshua Courier owes for rent, a broken computer, and for adult movies he ordered and never paid for. Joshua claims it was his ex-girlfriend who ordered the movies.
So, you moved into this place in
November.
Both of you signed the lease?
Yes, we did.
Now, he paid his rent for a while, and then according to
No.
him, he hit some hard times.
The rent was never paid to begin with. The first month we were there, he mysteriously lost a money order, and I was forced to pay the entire month of that rent.
How much was that?
That was $320. But the next 2 months went well. He did pay rent on time.
Great. Well, that's what he says pretty much. Until April of 2007.
Correct.
What happened in April 2007?
My check bounced. She called me and told me that it bounced when I was at work and that we need to figure out how we were going to pay it. And so showed up at the leasing office. We tried to figure it out. I don't know, like a week went by. She called me and told me...
Get over, please. You know I'm getting older by the second.
Okay, she...
Did she cover your rent?
In April?
Yeah.
No.
You paid it?
No.
Who paid it?
Nobody.
How could you not pay rent? Did you pay the rent?
Yes, I did.
Of course she did. You mean the landlord says you're such a nice guy, I'm going to let you just breeze over? No. How much rent did you cover for him?
For March and April, I covered $960. Total, I covered $1,600 and six.
Now, according to you, you don't really deny this. In your answer, you said, I always paid my rent until April when I was having money issues. Kristen told me not to worry. She told me just to get back on my feet.
Yes.
Well, you're back on your feet, right?
Yes.
So you got to pay her the rent.
I don't feel like I owe her the money because she told me not to worry about it. She said, sign yourself off the lease and then move out by the 1st. And I got the rest. And she was there.
1st of what?
The 1st of May.
1st of May?
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about March and April.
When I paid March rent, my check bounced. In April...
Well, I understand that.
And then April, I had like a couple days until rent was due, and that's when the check bounced. That's when she called me and said the check bounced.
We're talking about rent for half the month when you first moved in, when you didn't have it, and for 2 months.
Yeah.
March and April. And you moved out in May. Is that right?
Yes.
That's all I'm talking about. Do you have proof that you paid that rent?
No.
And are you back on your feet?
Yes.
Perfect. Cute, but no cigar. What else do you want from him?
I would like half of the Comcast bill that I paid for 5 months. The agreement was we wanted cable, we wanted internet, we wanted a phone, so...
You should have turned it off. You should have turned it off. If he wasn't paying it and he was not being terribly responsible with money, then you should have turned it off. You don't need cable.
Right.
Hum.
I would at least like to be reimbursed for the porn that was rented on our cable bill.
Yes, sir. Now, who rented the porn?
My ex-girlfriend.
And your ex-girlfriend was your visitor?
Yes.
And did she watch this all by herself?
Yes, I had no recollection that she was watching it. I didn't
How
know.
do you know it was her?
She told me. But she told me she paid it, so I didn't.
How much was the porn?
$81.90.
$1,681. Your guest? Your worries. What else?
My computer that is no longer in commission. I had to purchase a new computer. My computer is basically totaled. My mom was there when it happened.
Well, what happened?
Him and one of his friends were downloading music, and the blue screen of death came on, and the computer never worked again.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Now, did he have your permission to do that?
He had my permission to be on the computer, yes. But I had no idea that viruses were being downloaded. And the second it happened, he told me, and he's like, I'll help you pay for half of it.
What happened, sir?
Actually, the night, I guess it crashed, I wasn't even there. I came home, like, afterwards, and her mom and my friend was there, and they were watching TV. And they said the computer did not work. And I said, okay, what happened? And they said it just crashed. And I said, okay. And then she was like blaming my friend. And then I was like, that's not right. She downloaded music on it too, so it doesn't matter.
And that's why I was only suing for half.
Did you?
Yes.
Forget it. All right, you all for the rent and you all for your girlfriend's porn. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,681. Thank you.
Parties are excused. Matter of Davis versus Booth. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Mr. Davis, you and the defendant have a child together.
That's correct.
How old is the child?
He is 2.
2?
Yes.
According to your complaint, the defendant filed false charges against you of assault, resulting in your having to pay legal fees and bail money.
That's correct.
You want to be compensated for that. The defendant says that the charges were true. She is counterclaiming for some assault and some property damage, which I will get to in a moment. When did the two of you separate?
July 2001.
And who took the child at that time?
I did.
Were you involved in a custody dispute after July of 2001?
I went to the courts and got some papers drawn up. Actually went to a paralegal, one of my mom's friends.
Just tell me, was there a custody case in the courts?
Yes.
And who has primary custody of the child?
Me right now.
Do you have a copy of that order?
There's mediation papers in there as well.
We both have custody. I know that everything is joint right now. I have a paper here that says that we have joint.
Okay, you're right. So the child is being shifted back and forth on a weekly basis. Part of the week you have the child, and part of the week you have the child. And I assume that this incident happened on October 16th during one of those periods of exchange.
Well, right now is a stipulation. The courts were saying until she can get on her feet and actually have her own place of stay, then we can start doing that arrangement. But right now we do Tuesdays and Thursdays, so we haven't really made that concrete yet, Your Honor.
Okay. October 16th is when this incident happened?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened, sir.
Well, I called her on a cell phone to let her know that our child was not going to be ready to be dropped off at 4 o'clock, like we arranged. She never got that message. I checked my messages at home around 4:20. She said, where are you at? I'm waiting here 20 minutes. I called her back and told her, hey, I'm running late. Jacob's just waking up. I don't want to rush him. He gets cranky. She started persisting to scream at me, telling me this is not right. This is my time with my son, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'll be there as soon as possible. Cut up some food for him, got him a drink, drove him down to Penadobe Park where we meet. She walked right over to my mom's truck, took him right out of the car, didn't say a word to me. By this time, my son's face was really sad. I went over to tell him goodbye. At that time, she persisted on yelling and screaming at me, telling me I was a bad dad and how I shouldn't have been late. And I told her this is the same reason why we broke up, so we wouldn't have to fight in front of our son. She started screaming. I said, no, I'm going to take my son out of here because you're not in a good state. When I started to grab him out of the car seat, she grabbed my arm, and I told her to back off me and just to calm down. I'm going to take him home, and we'll decide on another day.
So what happened? She grabbed your arm?
She grabbed me, and I shrugged her off pretty much. She fell onto the ground, hit her butt, and hit her left elbow. The police report said she had a 1-inch scratch. I actually persisted to help her up. I told her, let me help you up. She said, no. I went into the truck and sat down. She came back around in her truck, got out of her truck with my son watching, and started flailing at me.
What does that mean?
She was, through the truck, she was pretty much trying to hit me. It hit my glasses, stuff like that, and I sat there and thought about what really happened. I drove home and I called and said, you know what, I want my son. A couple more phone calls, the cops were on the phone, telling me that Mary was in a bad state of mind and can you come up to Vacaville and pick up my son. So when I went up there, the cop came out, told me, do you know your rights? I'm going to put you under arrest. And that's when they served me with the temporary restraining order.
What happened with that case?
I have papers showing that the DA has dropped the charges and there was not enough evidence to prove the case. Their police report is stapled to it as well.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
Okay, on October 16th, we did agree to meet at Penadobe at 4 o'clock. It was about 4:30, and I called on the cell phone. I called his mother's house, and I called his house and left a thing on the answering machine. And finally, about 4:30, he called me back, and he said that my son was still sleeping. He said that if I wanted to wait until my son was going to be awake, that I could wait at the park until Evan and my son was ready.
Let me stop you there for a moment.
Okay.
Had you had this exchange before at the park?
Yes.
Approximately how many times?
It's been about 2 months.
And have the exchanges always taken place at the same time, 4 o'clock?
Yes, but there's been other incidences when sometimes he won't show up, sometimes he'll show up late.
But for 2 months they had gone on reasonably well.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, now continue.
I obviously got upset because my time with my son is at 4 o'clock. He has made it very difficult for me to even see my son since I had left the residence. He said, I'll show up whenever I show up.
What time did he arrive?
He finally showed up about a little after 5.
Go ahead.
So once he showed up, he arrived in his mother's car, and I opened the door, and I got my son out of the car.
Did you say anything to each other at the time that you opened the door?
I let him know that I was very upset.
That's not what I asked you. What did you say?
I cannot do this. You need to show up on time. If we have a set agreement, you need to show up on time. And I carried him over to my car, and I was buckling him into the car seat. We were arguing back and forth still.
Why would you argue with him?
I was upset because he was late.
And you have a conversation with him outside the earshot of his child.
Right.
Not right. You didn't do that. You were yelling and screaming and agitated.
Yes.
And you couldn't control yourself, even in front of your child.
Yes.
Well, that's wrong.
I know.
So you can understand why he would say, I don't think you should have him because you're not in control of yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So he came around from behind you and he tried to take the child out of the car?
No, he didn't.
What did he say?
He was yelling at me. He was saying that you're not going to have your son. You're not going to see your son ever again. I'm going to take custody of Jacob. And during this time, I was buckling my son into the car, and he grabbed my arm right here and swung me around to where I landed way behind my truck, and I landed directly on my back to where it knocked the wind out of me. I was like, you're not going to take my son. You just threw me on the ground. He ran over to my side of the car, and he tried to pull the keys out of the ignition. I was able to get the car started, and I took off.
And then you went home?
Yes. I called the police as soon as I got home.
Why?
Because I was assaulted. Evan has abused me for the past 3 years that I was with him, and I'm not going to let him do this to me anymore. For him to throw me on the ground in front of my son, I can't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Evan Davis says ex-girlfriend Mary Booth had him falsely arrested for assault after a custody exchange of their child. Mary says her allegations are true.
Both behaved very badly that day.
I understand.
You both behaved very badly that day.
But I don't feel that if anybody's behavior does not mean that anybody should be threatened physically.
Well, one gets from your scenario, Miss Booth, that he did not punch you, right?
No.
He didn't grab you by both shoulders and throw you to the ground, is that correct?
Correct.
What he did was he tried to get you away from the baby so that he... What he did was try to get you away from the baby. And he pulled your arm, swung you around, and you fell. He didn't put his hands on your chest and fling you to the ground, right?
Well...
Am I right?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, let me tell you something. I think that you both behaved badly that day. You initially out of control. And you may have been out of control because you don't have custody of your child, because you were angry, because you're involved in, this ongoing open-ended order of the family court. You're both recovering from drug abuse, is that right? Well, that's what it says in here. That's what it says in here.
Yeah.
It says that you were clean for a month at the time of the mediation. He was clean for 5 months. Tell me, did I read that?
No.
That's what it says in the mediation papers, Your Honor.
That's what it says in the mediation papers. What do you mean, no? That's what it says. I'm going to read it again. Maybe I misread it.
Evan has not been clean.
Just a second. Mother acknowledges past drug use by both parents and states she has been clean for about 1 month.
Yes. I know
That's just
that,
what I said.
Well, I know
You
that
acknowledge-
he still uses drugs at that time.
I said, first I'm talking to you. I said you. I said both of you are recovering from drug abuse. And you said no.
Yes, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
You didn't understand? You didn't understand what I said? Yes doesn't mean no. Father says that he also was using drugs, but he had been clean for 4 to 5 months at the time of this mediation. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not. I assume somebody did a hair follicle test on both of you, did they?
No.
No.
That's a big mistake.
Should have.
Huh?
They should have.
Yeah, they sure should have. Anyway, you're out of control, Miss Booth. How much was your bail?
$1,500. I have receipts.
And aside from the bail, how much did you pay a lawyer?
I didn't pay a lawyer or anything. I paid a paralegal to do some of my work for me.
I thought you said the paralegal was a friend of yours.
Well, she still charges.
You have a bill?
No, I do not. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Can I hand you guys? Well, that wasn't my case. I was basically for the bail and for the mental anguish and for the 7-day restraining order.
Well, the 7-day restraining order was not as a result of any factual finding, only because she went in there and asked for one. What?
Your Honor, he violated his restraining order. He called me 5 times within that time of the restraining order, saying that he wanted to come pick up his son and that I would never see his son again. And he basically made threats saying that he was...
So what happened with that case?
They filed something saying that he violated the restraining order. I have it right here.
No, that you say he violated the restraining order. Shouldn't have been a restraining order to begin with. Restraining order was issued ex parte, which means you just asked for it, they gave it to you, but at the time it came to court, they dropped it because they weren't going to give you one for a year. You only had a restraining order for a week, is that right?
Yeah, that's all I asked for.
That's not all you asked for. You would have liked one permanently.
Well, I wanted to get one permanently, but I felt like if I did, that it would interrupt with me seeing, with the exchange of my son, and I didn't want to do that.
Because the child was going back to his father.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't want to have it, interrupt with that.
I got it.
Okay.
You called the police with regard to this alleged violation of the order, which says no contact for 7 days. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You called the police came over and they listened to the recording, the one recording that you had. Is that right?
Yes.
The one recording that you had. And the one recording that you had, according to the police, was as follows. Victim Booth's cellular phone voicemail was played for me. The voice on the call sounded like Subject Davis's voice, and the subject of the conversation was to confirm the exchange of the child on 10/23/01. No threats, just to confirm the exchange. Booth was adamant she wanted to file a report about this violation of the order.
He had called me.
Subject Davis arrived at the location and listened to the voice message. Davis denied making the call. He said it was his brother. This may have been true, according to the police, because as the voice ended, the message was, leave a message with Evan, which is you.
Yes.
So you wouldn't say leave a message with me. You would say leave a message on my mail. You would.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Listen, I am now going to turn to the counterclaim for a minute, and then I'm going to make a decision. Your counterclaim says, Ms. Booth, among other things, that in March, that was before you finally separated, that the plaintiff assaulted you.
Yes.
And he broke your glasses.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you went back to living with him for 5 months.
Yes, I did.
So forget it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I have, no family. I have no family. I have nowhere to go.
Ms. Booth,
I didn't want to leave my son.
You made a baby together. If you're smart, you will put all of the anger and hostility and everything else behind you and decide that you are going to make these exchanges comfortable, that a 2-year-old doesn't always act on your schedule, and if he's sleeping, he's sleeping. Why should you wake him up? That's what a reasonable person does. Not act like a baby and get all bent out of shape because you're missing a half hour or an hour worth of time with the child, especially when it's been going reasonably. Better put behind, both of you, put behind any animus, any hard feeling that you have and everything else, and just decide that you are now bound to each other for the next 20 years and learn to live with it. Otherwise, you're going to have these skirmishes all the time. So we've just done away with this alleged March assault because then you all got together again and lived happily ever after for 5 months. Then you say in July he ultimately threw you out. And when he threw you out, he broke some precious moments figures and an antique piece of furniture. So you want to tell me what happened in July?
On July 7th, Evan and I had gotten into a very big fight. He had threatened to kill me, and the next day I decided that I was going to go stay at a friend's house for a couple of days. I came back 2 days later to get some belongings, and my whole wardrobe was in the car, locked, and the doors, the locks were changed. So I broke into the house, and I got some of my belongings, and I noticed that almost all of my furniture was gone, and I went into the garage. All of my furniture was laying out all over the garage. This piece of furniture, which was given to me by my great-grandparents. On top is the before picture, and the rest are the after. When I went out there, there was my precious moments sitting on top. There was 3 of them sitting on top of the cabinet with the heads torn off of them.
Tell me what happened with this piece of furniture when you moved it out. Does it look as if you moved it very carefully?
I did move it very carefully. All the stuff was moved out of the garage, so I don't know if it got broke at that time when they moved it or if one of her friends moved it on accident and didn't tell her it broke. Because I wasn't there. My mom was there, but she couldn't be at the
So what you're telling me is when you moved this piece into the garage, it was in good condition?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, actually there was a leg missing from the prior because there never was a leg on there, and there was some marks on the front that was scratched up from my
No.
son chipping it off, and the locks were actually missing too because my son took them off.
What about these little figurines?
I did. I told her at the time of the date I broke her figurine. I dropped it in the bag and it broke. And I only
How many
broke
figurines
one.
were
Just
broken?
one broke.
How much did you pay for these figurines?
They were gifts, and they were $50 I got on the internet.
How many figurines do you claim were broken?
3.
Did he tell you that he broke
No,
one?
he didn't say one. He said that he broke them. He said, I said, you ripped the heads off of these things. And
me
he
see them.
said, yes, I ripped the heads off.
Okay. Well, that's what they're asking for these things, $50. That's not what they sell
I
for.
don't know how much they are.
So now let me tell you how I'm going to resolve this case. You've already gotten your lecture on trying to be good young parents in a situation where you're going to be exchanging custody and visitation. I don't think that either one of you wants your child to suffer.
No.
Your behavior on that date made your child suffer. He was 2 years old, and you frightened him because you were out of control. It wasn't as if he didn't show up at all. He showed up an hour late. You had a conversation with him a half hour before and said he was going to be a little late. Just hang in there. So you had no reason to lose it, which you did. And if she lost it, and if you were concerned that she lost it, you don't feed into that. You let her take the child. Next day, you go into court. Say, listen, I want to set up a supervised visitation till she gets herself set. You don't fight in front of the child. Did I say that loud enough?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that? So, it cost you $1,500 for your bail. Is that right?
That's correct.
She's going to pay $750 because I think that she was at least half responsible for what went on that day.
Okay.
And I don't know how much these figurines are worth, but certainly he acknowledges that he broke one, if not 3 of them. So I'm giving you a credit of $100 on your counterclaim. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $650. That's all.
Parties versus Sanchez. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Frazier, the defendant is your former boyfriend?
Ex, Your Honor.
And is your claim that he threw you out of a home that you shared together and did not return much of your property? In addition to that, you claim an assault and injuries from an assault.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I've looked over your claim with regard to the assault, which I would like to address first. So let's go back. When did you move in together?
It was around about September that we started to share an efficiency.
And it was just the 2 of you there?
Yes.
When was the assault?
This particular assault happened on the 5th of September, and it started over money.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, it was a big fight. He got big and burly, as he usually does, pushed him up against the wall. I defended myself, scratched him on the face. I ended up with a bruise on the arm, a bruise on the leg, which she can be a witness to. I showed her the very next day.
You didn't receive any medical treatment for this bruise on your arm and leg?
No. I didn't have any medical insurance to go seek.
Let's be honest with each other.
I'm being honest, Your Honor.
Okay. So if you have a black and blue mark on your arm and you have a black and blue mark on your leg, you usually don't go to a doctor for that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I read through your complaint, and it said that some 2 weeks later, more than 2 weeks later, was the date he threw you out of the apartment.
And then there was another fight leading up to that.
Did you go back to the home after September 5th?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
You showed your daughter the bruise, and then you went home, and you cohabited together. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
On the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, etc., all until the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume by that time the scratch on his face had faded and your bruise had faded. Is that right?
I still have a reminiscence of the one on my leg, Your Honor.
Did you talk about the assault when you moved back into the house?
No.
He didn't say he was sorry. You didn't say you were sorry. No discussion about it at all?
Nope.
So then let's go past the assault. And let's go to September the 20th. What happened on September the 20th?
I came home from work. He came home high, drunk, and started a fight. He asked me to come into the bathroom to get high with him. I refused. I refused 3 times. He got loud. He started pushing me around. The drugs he had at the time he threw into a drawer. There was somebody who was sharing the place, sleeping on the floor at the time. When he got into the fight with me, the person told him to leave me alone. It wasn't worth going to jail for. He told him to leave me alone, let me leave, etc., etc. I started to pack things up to get out of there, because if I didn't leave, I probably would have been dead.
Okay. So you left. Now, what property do you claim you left there?
I left a picture collection. I left drawers of clothes. I left suits hanging up. Everything that I owned was
Pictures
in that
and clothes
efficiency.
so far?
I'm sorry?
So far I have pictures and clothes.
I had a TV, VCR. I had a camera
I had foot spa. I had goods that my parents had given to me.
What arrangements did you try to make after the 20th to get your property back?
Melanie went back the day after.
The
to get my
21st?
stuff. Yeah, she went back to get my stuff. Okay.
Step up, please. You're her daughter.
Yes.
Tell me what happened when you went back September 21st.
I knocked the door. I had the key with me. No one answered, so I used the key to open the door. When I opened the door, he was standing there, and I told him that I came back to get as much things as I could fit into the car. I took some items, and
What did you take?
I took a computer, some bathroom items. It was a small car, so I couldn't fit pretty much anything else in there. And he told me that I could come back the following day because he would not be there and collect the rest of the items. I went back the following day and the locks were changed and no one was there.
So you went back on the 22nd and the locks had been changed?
Yes.
And then what happened?
And when I met up with my mother again, I explained to her that the locks were changed. I couldn't get in. I couldn't get anything. We tried to figure out a way when we could go there again and get the rest of the items.
At that time, Your Honor, I actually called the apartment complex and told them that I would be there the next day with a van to get my items. I could not get in because the locks had been changed.
So, now I'll hear from you.
Where would you like me to start, Your Honor?
I'd like you to start with her property. I'm going to make fast work of the assault. You had a fight, and then you went home. And then you cohabited together for some 3 weeks thereafter. So I am not entertaining your claim for the assault. Let's get to the property.
I asked her to leave, Your Honor.
You didn't ask.
I don't want you to listen to me, Miss Frazier. See how quiet he was when you were speaking?
It's just a show, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I was head of household at the time. It was $750 a month, and when rent wasn't paid on time, there was late charges added to that. I was the only one working, and it was rough.
All right, so that's you were fighting about money. A lot of people fight about money. What I want to know is, sir, there came a time on the 20th of September that she left.
I asked her to leave, yes.
Okay, you asked her to leave, and she left.
She took most of all her property that was of value that she owned at the time.
You're lying, Eric.
Miss
You
Frazier,
are lying.
Miss Frazier, if you
Ma'am,
speak
I
again,
left in
if
a
you
cab.
speak again, I am going to dismiss your claim. Do you understand? You have an opportunity to speak, then he has an opportunity to speak. If I want to clarify anything, I will come back to you. Go ahead.
There was another roommate moving in, and he had a lot of personal belongings of property. It's my responsibility as bringing another boarder in to protect his stuff because it's only natural. So we decided, the landlord decided that it was okay to change the locks. This was none of our doing. This was all three of us.
You changed the locks, fine. So you changed the locks immediately. Okay.
We did, because now she was not living there anymore.
Okay. Look at me. Try looking at me. I want you to look at me.
I'm sorry. She called me 2 weeks after she had left the premises, asking for her belongings. It was on a Sunday. I told her, coming Thursday, come and get your belongings. Thursday came. I spoke to the landlord prior to this, and I had an $811 bill on the rent. I knew I couldn't maintain this place anymore. He gave me 15 minutes to leave the premises.
Why did you pick that Thursday for her to come and get the stuff if she called you on a Sunday?
Because that was when I got paid, and that was my chance to make the movement. I mean, I couldn't...
No. You're mixing apples and oranges, Mr. Sanchez. She calls you on a Sunday wanting to come and pick up her stuff. You tell her to come Thursday. Why didn't you say, if you want to come and get your stuff, come today, come tomorrow?
Well, why didn't she suggest that? Why can't I come tomorrow? Why can't I come Tuesday?
No, I'm just asking you why you told her to come Thursday.
It just seemed like an okay thing to say. I wasn't thinking about it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Olivia Frazier says ex-boyfriend Eric Sanchez assaulted her and threw her out of their apartment. Olivia says Eric is a drug addict.
All right. So by Thursday, you had trouble with the landlord, right?
Correct. 3 days after she left, I boxed all her stuff, everything, and put it on...
TV, VCR?
Everything was in the corner. All of it was in the corner.
Her stuff?
All of her stuff, boxes.
Oh, okay.
Because when she came back, I didn't want her running through the park to the room, getting her belongings.
It's reasonable.
I didn't have enough time to get all my belongings. I left stuff behind. Her stuff was left there.
On what day, sir, were you evicted?
Around the 30th of September, around that time.
The end of September?
The end of September.
All right. So this is the problem that I have, Mr. Sanchez, with your scenario. You asked her to leave on the 20th of September. Her daughter comes back on the 21st of September, takes some of the property. You have the locks changed the next day. That's the 22nd of September. There were 8 days between the 22nd of September and September 30th when you were evicted from the property. She calls you on a Sunday, which is probably 4 days later, and says, I want to come and get my property. Not 2 weeks, 4 days. Instead of you saying, come right away, you say, come Thursday, which is September 30th, which is a date that you say you just picked out of the air because you knew there was going to be a confrontation with the landlord because you didn't have his money for rent. 4 days, not 2 weeks, because your defense is she should have gotten her stuff sooner. Your turn.
When you're asked to leave, you're not asked, first of all, you didn't pay rent when you lived there. Second of all, you're not going to have free storage. When I ask you kindly to leave, I want you to take your belongings and go with them. Take all of it. Don't leave it behind.
Mr. Sanchez, according to you, on September 30th, when the landlord gave you 15 minutes to move out, you had to leave a lot of your stuff because you couldn't even take your stuff. Did that irritate you?
She had 3 weeks.
No. Don't tell me 3 weeks.
I had 15 minutes. She had 3 weeks.
I'm speaking, and you're going to answer my question. Did that irritate you when the landlord gave you 15 minutes to get out and get all your stuff? Of course. Now, you and the plaintiff shared a home together. This was not the first home you shared together, based upon what I have read. You shared another apartment together prior to this apartment. You shared a home together. You shared a relationship together. You shared a bed together. So you were not her landlord. If you asked her to leave because you felt as if she wasn't shouldering her weight as far as the rent was concerned, that's fine. I have no problem with that. And she was probably just as happy to go because she says you're a drunken drug abuser. And why she stayed with you after you allegedly assaulted her, I don't know, but that's her problem. But when you ask someone to leave and you are separating, then you act like a human being, which is come and get your stuff. I don't want to be here. Maybe a confrontation. Come with the police. Come with somebody else. Get your stuff. Get your stuff tomorrow. Get your stuff the next day. Clearly, she wasn't abandoning her property, sir, because her daughter came back and tried to get as much of the property as she could. And you had boxed her property and put it in a corner. And it wasn't 2 weeks. It was 4 days since she got a phone call from her saying, I want to come and get the rest of my stuff. That's if I believe you. And it was probably even before that. So, Ms. Frazier, I want you to tell me, you have clothes, you have pictures, you have TV, you have VCR, you have a camera. All of those things, he says he boxed. And he left there.
Can I, before you go deeper into this, can I say one more thing? When she left, on that Thursday, she gave me $140 for rent.
I didn't give it to you.
You're close, Miss Frazier.
It was 2 weeks after the date that I asked her to leave on that Thursday. It was 2 weeks on a Sunday that I heard from her. That Sunday she called and I said, by Thursday, come and get your stuff.
Sanchez, pay attention. You told her to leave, according to both of you, on September 20th. You were evicted from your apartment on September 30th. That's 10 days.
September 5th, Your Honor, is
No, September 5th, sir, is when she allegedly claims that you had a big fight and she moved out of...
That's when she was asked to leave.
Just a second. But then she moved back in. You had an obligation, sir, to safeguard her property, and you didn't do it.
And I did. I boxed it and put it in the corner.
Then you should have made sure that you got
I didn't have time enough to take my stuff. I'm going to bag women's lingerie and shoes and box belongings that don't belong to me.
Yes.
Well, I tried. I did my best by boxing and put it in the corner, Your Honor. That's the best I could do.
Well, I'm saying...
She had ample time to take it.
Sanchez, it's not good enough.
Should I have loved it on my back and take it to...
Yes.
Oh, I got another thing.
Yes.
Well, I have another thing.
Just a second. You asked me a question. I'm going to give you an answer, Mr. Sanchez. Should you have put it on your back and taken it to her house? If the back is all you had.
Okay.
If your back is all you had, but
Your Honor,
maybe... Listen.
Your Honor.
There's only one macho person here.
And that's you. That's cool.
That's cool. That's
Your
right.
Honor.
You're still going, Mr. Sanchez. I didn't look at your direction and give you permission to speak. A woman who lived with you, shared your bed, shared your thoughts, shared a lot of reasonable times and a lot of terrible times. But you wanted things to be over reasonably, then that's what you do. You strap the stuff on your back, and little by little you take it over to her house.
Okay, Your Honor.
Now I'm almost ready to say Now I'll hear you, Mr.
Okay.
Sanchez.
That's
I'm not totally ready yet, Mr. Sanchez.
You gonna?
Just almost ready.
Okay.
Now I'll hear you, Mr. Sanchez.
Okay. That's all good and fine. A man can do this. But when you leave without a foreign address, without recognition of your job, a number, where she stayed or lived, because had I had that information, I would have called her and said, come and get your stuff now. I'm off on this day. Please come get your stuff. I didn't have any clue where she was.
All right. Now, Mr. Sanchez.
Carrying the stuff on my back would have been cool, but where am I going to take it?
Just a second. No dramatic.
Where am I going to go? Around town?
Mr. Sanchez, don't irritate me. Don't irritate me. I'm just getting over the fact that you wore shorts to court. Where was Miss Frazier working while she was living with you in August?
She wasn't working.
Excuse me, Your Honor. Can I say
Yes.
something, please? Okay. The first apartment that they shared together. My
She
mother
paid the
was
rent.
only
I know.
one
She says in her complaint she paid the rent and he didn't. Listen to me. Where were you working in September?
I was working for a local computer company, which he knew of. But before that, I was going to school.
Don't speak.
That's where the
I don't wanna-
$140
I don't
came
want-
from that I gave to the
Pay
roommate.
attention to me. Did he have the telephone number?
Yes, there was an 800 number, and he also had the number of where I was staying,
With
which
me.
was with
Oh,
her.
my-
He had that number weeks before.
Okay.
That's
And you
not
live in
true,
the
yeah.
same town?
Yes.
Okay.
Not true.
All right. Now, pictures, clothes, TV, VCR, and camera. Do you have bills for any of those things, Miss Frazier?
There was a box of receipts that he allegedly boxed up.
So
I don't
the
have
answer
them.
is you don't.
No.
Was it a new TV? What size TV?
27-inch Zenith is a year old.
Okay. Do you remember how much you paid for it?
Yes, I paid $227.
And what about the VCR?
And the VCR was $155 from Brandsmart. I'm still in their computer system.
And the camera?
$375.
Reasonable enough. And assorted clothing and pictures, is that right?
Yes.
The scanner.
I had a scanner. I had a printer. I also had a digital camera on my computer. I had belongings that my parents gave to me before they died. I had a crystal collection that was worth over $1,500.
Do you have an appraisal?
$1,500.
Do you have an appraisal?
Not here.
It's amazing. All of a sudden you got all this stuff of value, but you leave it behind.
Because you stole it, so shut up.
You're close. Miss Frazier, you're close. You're almost home.
He annoys me, Your Honor.
He annoys me too. But don't you understand, Miss Frazier, don't you understand? You made a mistake.
I did.
You paid for the mistake. I don't believe that you had all this valuable stuff. My God, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But I believe you left a lot of stuff behind. He's going to have to compensate you for it because he didn't take care of it.
You have a job.
He had the locks changed, so you couldn't get it.
Go to the police.
I did.
Then that's what
Your
you
Honor,
do. You go
do
to
you
the police and
believe
you
that
say,
she-
I want to
went
get my
to the police, and here it is, his report here.
I want my property, and the police went with you to get your property. And what happened?
When I went there was nothing there.
Oh, because you went after the 30th. I'm talking about before. I'm
I
talking
went
about
4 times, Your Honor. And the landlord said
You should
that he'd
have 4 proof of
observed
4 times.
you going in there, moving stuff. You came with one bag.
You're speaking. You're almost there. Judgment for the plaintiff. Before you really, really do it. Because you're going to fight with him. It's not going to do me any good. It's not going to do you any good. Certainly not your daughter. He doesn't care. Judgment
If
for
she
the
had a
plaintiff.
small vehicle, Your Honor, and you really could
Hey!
so much, make 5 trips.
Can I ask you a
Take them
question?
all.
Can I ask you a question? Did you ever go to church on a Sunday, on Easter Sunday?
Yes, I have.
Do you get dressed to go to church, or do you wear shorts? Do you get dressed to go to church, or do you wear shorts
I
and
apologize,
sneakers?
Your Honor.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,200. That's all.
Parties are
हेलो दोस्तों, कैसे हैं आप लोग? आशा करते हैं आप लोग बहुत ही अच्छे होंगे। हमारे चैनल में आप सभी का स्वागत है और मैं भी बहुत ही बढ़िया हूँ। और आप लोग कैसे हैं वो प्यारा सा कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताइएगा। और आज हो रहा है खेत में शॉर्ट कॉमेडी वीडियो शूट हो रहा है, तो हमारा कॉमेडी वीडियो कौन कौन देखता है वो कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर बताइएगा आप लोग फटाफट, क्योंकि बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है। दोस्तों बहुत ही मेहनत करना पड़ता है हम लोगों को, कहाँ कहाँ क्या क्या करना पड़ता है, क्या क्या गालियाँ देना पड़ती है, क्या क्या शब्द बोलना पड़ता है। तो प्लीज़ आप लोग इस शॉर्ट वीडियो को, और ब्लॉग भी बहुत हम लोग जल्दी लेने आने वाले हैं, कल या परसों, तो आप लोग ज़रूर ढेर सारा प्यार दीजिएगा उस ब्लॉग को, तो ठीक है। और बहुत ही जल्द कल या परसों में आएगा 10 मिनट तक का वीडियो, बड़ा वीडियो भी आप लोग को देखने को मिलेगा और ढेर सारा एंजॉय। और किसको किसको अच्छा लगता है वो प्लीज़ आप लोग कमेंट बॉक्स में ज़रूर बताइएगा, क्योंकि दोस्तों बहुत ही मेहनत करते हैं हम लोग, बहुत ही मेहनत, क्योंकि पूरा दिन हम लोग देखिए अपने चैनल पे भी काम करते हैं, फिर चैनल का गिनती नहीं कितना चैनल है, और भैया का है 3-4, मेरा 2, प्रिया भाभी का 2, फिर आशुतोष का 1, फिर प्रिया भाभी का 2 है, फिर आशुतोष भैया का 1 है, फिर मेरा है, फिर कॉमेडी वीडियो वाला चैनल है, उस पर सारा पर ध्यान देना पड़ता है, सारे वीडियो डालना पड़ता है। तो प्लीज़ आप लोग सपोर्ट कीजिए। और भी कॉमेडी शूट करना, पूरा दिन भर कॉमेडी शूट करना, दिन हमें 10 वीडियो या 12 वीडियो शूट हो जाता है, दिन में पब्लिक भी हो जाता है। मतलब पहले का वीडियो रहता है तो पब्लिक हो जाता है, आज बनता है कल पब्लिक होता है। और हम लोग झगड़ा करते हुए कैसे लगते हैं, हम लोग भाभी और मैं, रियल का झगड़ा नहीं रहता है दोस्तों, वैसे ही गाली गलौज देना पड़ता है, क्योंकि आप लोग की फरमाइश ही ऐसी है तो करना पड़ेगा, आप लोग के लिए सब कुछ कर रहे हैं हम लोग। तो फटाफट शेयर कीजिएगा, क्योंकि पूरा दिन भर शूट करना, फिर रात को एडिट करना, फिर सुबह पब्लिक करना, वो सिर्फ आप ही लोग के लिए हो रहा है। और आप लोग अच्छे से देखें, आप लोग सपोर्ट करें और प्यार दुलार जरूर दें। तो ठीक है, बाय बाय, मिलते किसी नेक्स्ट वीडियो में।